to surprise us with some calling it down. It's some going down. Trav here. My feet kicked up. My feet kicked up. That's what they say.
You tell me.
So, Ed Robinson is an all-time winning coach for HBCU football, Division I football, right? Man, he's a legend. He's a guy that many of us planted our coaching careers after, right? So every year they do the Ed Robinson Award, all right, for Coach of the Year, all right? So last year was 12 finals, right? And it's 12 finals this year, and our guy, TC Taylor, is the finalist for the HBCU.
Everybody that made that possible. That's big. I ain't know that. Hey, but that's what it's all about. You know, we have a bunch of other guys getting postseason awards. You know, we got a bunch of players up for a lot of stuff too, staff as well. So.
Jackson State, this Jackson State. Guard the yard, baby. I love. Go JSU football.
A lot of people have doubted you and this team since the beginning, especially since you became the head coach of Jackson State University. What would you like to tell the people that kind of doubted you and put you in a position to elevate this team to where we at right now?
The train has left the station, and we're not selling any more tickets.
What's going on, everybody, man? Happy Wednesday. Happy hump day. Come on in, man. Hit the like button, hit the share button, hit the subscribe button. Man, Coach dropped the bar, man. That's a forever bar. The train has left the station. We're not selling any more tickets. Y'all come on in, man. Get comfortable, man. Got an action-packed show for you guys tonight. It's going to be fun, man. It's pre-Thanksgiving. Hopefully everybody is pretty much got their holiday menus. And I know some of y'all in the kitchen cooking, man. So go ahead, put it on your TV, put it on your, you know what I mean, your iPad, your laptop, whatever it is you watch the show on, your cell phone, prop it up. We got a great show for you guys tonight, man. Brother TD, what's going on, bro?
Hey, what's up, man? I gotta get in the kitchen and start cooking.
Hey, man, if you just now getting started, brother, you are already late.
Oh.
You said the sound going in and out. I'm talking the same way I normally talk. Can y'all hear me good? Can you hear me good? Let me see. One second. Let me change the setting real quick. All right, here we go. How about now? Sound good now? I think it should be good now. I had a setting that had it. It was adjusting the microphone up and down. So I think it was, it was doing what it was doing. All right, we good now. Let's roll. How you doing, bro?
Yeah. I'm good. Deputy Mario ain't doing no cooking.
That's what he say he doing, man. He say he doing. I had to log out and log back in. Okay, I'm good. So good deal, man. Come on in, everybody, man. Hey, listen, real quick, man. We got a special guest tonight. We won't belabor the point. We got the GM coming on the show tonight. What's up, Trav? What's going on, brother? We got associate head coach / GM / tight end coach / everything. Earl, I don't know what's going on with the audio. They said it's choppy. Some people say it's good. Some people say it's not good. No problem. Take it to trial, Young Thug, Jack State Tigers. Take it to trial. The audio is in and out. Hang tight, bro. Give me 1 second, TD. 1 second, bro. Stop.
Hey, so Deputy Mario is out there cooking, huh? What you cooking, Deputy Mario? Good evening, Tiger Nation. It's Thanksgiving. We got a lot to be thankful for. What up, KC Dove? What up, Travis Jerome?
Yeah, I don't know what's happening, man. I think it's y'all device. I mean, I haven't done anything different. I got the same laptop, same cell phone, Wi-Fi. I mean, maybe it's good now. I went out, coming back in. I went to my audio settings, testing. It looks pretty good on my end. Yeah, look pretty good on my end. Right, I'm gonna adjust my microphone up a little bit more, so maybe you guys can hear me a little louder and clearer now. I'm probably loud as hell now, but it's all good. Audio good. I'm not gonna deal with it anymore. You might have to log out, log back in. I'm not sure what's going on, but anywho, all right, good deal. Let's rock and roll, man. Again, as I stated, we got the GM coming on the show tonight, man. We got associate head coach and everything, man. Tonight, Coach Otis Riddley coming on. We enjoy, always enjoy having Coach on. Had a chance to talk to him TD on Monday, and just sent out the invite, and he accepted as always. And I'm excited to. So I was just saying now, Coach, we ain't got no script, man. We ain't got no prepared text tonight. We gonna let it rip. We know you. That's how you like it. You know what I'm saying? We it's like sitting down. It's like a fireside chat in a sense. You know what I mean? Like just or should I say cigar shop talk? Can we say that, bro?
Cigar, yeah.
Cigar shop type, so shop talk. But got a lot to talk about tonight, man. We got some preliminaries. Coach O will be up at 9:30. We'll add him to the show around that time. He 's some things we definitely gonna touch on. So while we got a chance, we'll go ahead and get the preliminaries out of the way. Okay, TD, my nerve too bad to watch this live. What's wrong with your nerve?
Yeah, and what it got to do with me? Look, man.
I don't know what's wrong with your nerve, man. Go take a Xanax or something. Anywho, man, let's that's right, Desi. How you doing, sis? Happy Tiger Nation. Appreciate you. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. Hey, listen, TD. We before we even get into all that, man. Let's do this. Let's do this, man. Let me
the best intro, man.
You do. Let me do this though. I want to say how thankful I am for Tiger Nation, bro.
Oh man.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No, I appreciate you guys, man. You guys are what keeps us rocking and rolling. Y'all keeps us doing this thing, coming on. There we go. I always say that, huh? Anywho, I didn't know I say that much. I guess so. What's up, Austin? Hey, man, we're gonna have this. You know what? It's been a busy day for me. Trying to get prepared. A lot going on, man. And I'll say this. We got brother ASVP coming on. Listen, we got an initiative tonight, and it's we're gonna partner to help brother ASVP and his crew. We got a $1,000 tab we need to hit, man, for some equipment rental. And you know what, Austin? I still didn't put that on the damn thing that I had for the night. I still did.
What are you drinking?
What that?
Tab was $1,000.
No, well, it's equipment. It's equipment.
I know.
We drinking out of your equipment.
I mean, when you say tab, people think about alcohol. a tab.
Appreciate you, Mickey. Appreciate you more. You know what? I'll just do it this way. I don't feel like I ain't going back into that whatchamacallit, man. And I'm not going to go back in there that way. I'm just going to put it on the screen. So listen, we'll start this right now. Y'all, we need to collect $1,000. And Austin to come up and talk about it. Anywho, let's move on. I mean, that's what I do, man. Hey, man, got to move on from it, man. Ain't no
All
right, hold on, TD. Hold on just a second. Let me put this up here, bro, because I got a lot in my brain right now. Austin sent me this, and you got to forgive me, bro. I did not upload this, but I do want to show the family what exactly. Now, he didn't send me an itemized breakdown of what it is, but y'all know it's brother Austin. It's the media director, man.
Yeah,
we're gonna help out. Why? This is what kills me with this stuff, man. I try to save a damn photo. Now I gotta go hunt for the damn thing. Just don't get it, bro. It's literally right here. There it is. My goodness, man. Bro, these phones. Go ahead, man. I'm sorry, bro. I'm sitting here looking at the damn thing, and it won't let me add it. Put messages, and it won't even show it. It's right here. I'm looking at it, and it won't let me add it. Strange, bro. Very strange. You know what? I'm gonna screenshot it, bro. I don't know. I don't know. These devices, man, are something else, bro.
And Deputy Mario done overcooked those noodles now.
What is he cooking, man? But anyway,
I think it's chicken tetrazzini or something.
Okay. So yeah, man, it's you know, it's what we say, Thanksgiving Eve. Is that a thing, bro?
Yes, anything before is an Eve. Birthday Eve. Birthday Eve. Yeah. Anniversary Eve. Yeah, man. It's an Eve.
So there we go. This is what was sent. I got plenty folders, sis. It ain't that. It's just, trust me, I know how to operate the phone. It's just that I was trying to save this from the text message. So let's get it rocking and rolling, man. Get it rocking and rolling. We're gonna hit this little 963 tonight, and we'll get that over to the team and let them do what they need to do, man. They got some big plans for content when it comes to SWAC championship. Our plan is to get to the Celebration Bowl, so he's looking to rent that equipment from for starting this week. And Austin, you can put the information in the chat, let everybody know what we're working on. So listen, as you come in, we do have an initiative. We going. I just rounded it up to 1,000. Let's knock this out pretty quickly. Actually, everybody can throw $20 on it, and we'll be done in no time. So let's get the ball rolling. We'll keep it moving though. If you look at the ticket at the bottom, you can use Cash App, PayPal, Zelle. We don't do many initiatives on the channel, but when we do, it's always for a need. You know what I'm saying? And we appreciate bro for. I was in his office on Monday, and we touched on this. So let's get it rolling, y'all. Let's get it popping. Greetings, everyone. Rest of the SWAC 11. Hope all is well. He said greetings to everyone and the rest of this. Okay, I thought you said without that. Close my phone and turn it back on. But anywho, man, we let's do this, man. How was your day, bro? How was your day? We'll start there, and then we'll get into some preliminary. We got about 15 minutes for Coach O join us.
Man, first of all, my day started out good because I woke up. I mean, I was able to move.
Appreciate it, Andre.
Out of water. Hey, what's up, Drake? I remember you, bro. I appreciate you coming up to me, man. Thank you, man. I'm thankful for Tiger Nation, man. I'm definitely thankful for life. I had a good day. I was at work. I was pretty steady and busy, but that was good to make the time go. Plus, I try not to rush time, Ken.
You can't rush it no way.
Well, you know what? You know, when you sit around hoping and waiting and wishing and waiting for tomorrow and all that stuff, man, I just be like, let it be. You know, let it come, let it happen the way it's gonna happen. You know, but yeah, man. I mean, thankful for the coaches, man.
Yeah.
I'm thankful for the players that chose to come here. You know, everybody that you know, the fans that travel. I mean, whether they come in on the show or not, man. Like we was talking about those pom poms, how those pom poms look good in the air. You know, during when we were down at Alcorn and packed in at Alabama State.
Yep.
You know, just thankful, man. Grateful for living. Period.
Hey, man, you very well said, as always, bro. I'm just sitting up here. Tiger Nation is amazing, man. Austin, we halfway there already, man. I just said that, like a minute or two ago? We halfway there. Austin, you must be a likable dude, man, because Tiger Nation rocks with you. He know where to come whenever we need to get something done. I'm thankful that we do have this platform. I'm thankful that that Tiger Nation is rocking with us. Hasn't grown stale on the sound of our voice and the looks on our face. And I appreciate everyone who has been instrumental in the success of this platform. I don't have to give the background again on how we got to this point. Everyone that has been a part of this and still is a part of it, I'm thankful for. So thankful for life, breath, and all things, man. God is good, man. He's amazing, bro. It's amazing. Even when things aren't going our way or whatever so-called going our way, the best way for things to go your way is for you to be one with God's will, man. And I know that His will is going to run its course, CD, and you're never out of step with that, bro. You're always on point with it. I just want to spend more time, man, appreciating the little things, the small things. Waking up in the morning, not grabbing your cell phone, putting your feet on the ground, sitting quietly in meditation and just being thankful for life, man. And just I ain't too quick to respond to messages and return calls, man. Just gotta break away sometimes, man. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man. I'll do this, and the reason I'll go here, bro. I did want to do this. I want to send our thoughts and prayers, man, to the Alabama A&M Bulldog Nation, the family of brother Medrick Burnett Jr. I know there were reports earlier today, TD, that he had passed away, and the family came back and said that he did not pass away. He's still fighting for his life, still in the hospital, still hospitalized. But bro, I got to say this, man. This is one of the reasons why we say be very mindful of these young men and women who go out there and put their bodies on the line to play this dangerous sport, man. This young man was playing a game that we sometimes tend to lose ourselves when things don't go the way we want it to go. So 60, 70,000 people at the Magic City Classic, and the young man had a head-to-head collision, and he has been fighting for his life ever since. And you never think it'll happen to you.
Right.
You never think it'll happen to your child. You never think it'll happen to your team. And these are those moments where we say we are one, because when things like this happen, all the differences don't matter. It don't matter what colors you got on. It don't matter what city that you're in. This is that one Hillman. And just kind of considering this, I was like, man, this is tough. You know, this was kind of heartbroken this morning when you got the news and you say, whoa, wait a minute. This young brother was playing football, man, and he had a brain injury, man. And so we're praying and hoping, man, I hope, man, that, you know, God said, hold on. Y'all done wrote him off. I ain't called him home yet. So, you know, pray for the young man, family, man. So we sent our thoughts, our prayers, and all of that to the Alabama A&M, to Coach Connell Maynard, his staff, that team. Very tough reality, man. And you almost feel, we hope he recover and make a full recovery. So I just wanted to start there. I just want to say from KC-1400 Media Group and the family and Tiger Nation and everyone that we got the Alabama A&M in our thoughts and prayers, and definitely the Burnett family. So I'll let you jump in on that, TD.
Yeah, thank you. Very well said, Ken. You gave a shout out to, Bulldog Nation, Alabama, A&M. It's a lot of time, Ken, I'm riding, I make it to a destination, and I just think about all the hurt, harm, and dangers that I just avoided. You know what I'm saying? We never know what's around the corner, when we driving in our cars, and sometimes a lot of stuff we just take for granted. Sometimes it's just good to step back, take a deep breath, and say thank you. You ever been in an accident or close to an accident, Ken, and you was all right, and then you get a couple miles down the road, then you have to pull over to the side like, wait a minute.
Yep.
Really shaking up from this.
Yep.
So we have so much to be thankful for. And when I think about, this young man right here in the games that he loved and that he plays and that we enjoy watching, it goes back to some things that we were saying a few months ago, Ken. Be mindful how you treat these kids when they out there, because they out there putting their lives on the line at a young age to entertain you. And you never think about things like this until they happen, and then a lot of stuff you say, then you want to say, but you can't take it back. Be mindful it is of what you say to people. Ken, I think you was talking the other day about that 60-second rule, but before hitting singing. I had to think about stuff before you do it, man, because you never know when it's going to be that last moment. So I'm praying for this young man sincerely. He and his family, we know God holds the key. It has the last say, and all of this. So we definitely praying for the family, the school, and the athletes. You know what I'm saying? His teammates we just encountered something like this with Valley. Those young men have to deal with this, and they're not as mature as we are to handle these type of situations.
Right.
We hope everything go, God's will be done with this young man. Again, it's HBCU love, definitely, and we wish him a speedy recovery. Hopefully there's something, something come from this, man, positive that can help that entire family in the entire school student body. That's a lot, man. That's a lot.
Hey, and then too, I think he was a transfer student from Grambling. So I want to send our condolences to those young men who built relationships with him on the Grambling Tiger team. So, hate to start it this way, but this is the most important. You know what I mean? It was out there. So we wanted to definitely open the show up with this and just say, hey, man, we definitely praying for him. And I hope, man, that the updated news, because for the majority of the day, TD, he was dead to the public because it had been reported that he passed. So for everybody, for them to retract that and say, wait a minute, he's still living. He's still fighting for his life. I hope and pray, man, that that's a sign that he's going to turn for the betterment. I hope so. So let me say this, man. We'll move on to another quick note, and then we'll get prepared for our guests to join us. Investigation closed, man. Investigation closed. The SWAC announced that it does not have enough substantial evidence to prove any allegation. An allegation that Jackson State team members improperly accessed UAPB's practice film leading into November the 2nd. The conference said it reviewed, including its review included IT analysis, both oral and written statements from both schools, individuals, interviews, and consultation with legal counsel. The SWAC put out a statement today, TD, or yesterday rather. It says on Friday, November the 8th, Southwestern Athletic Conference was made aware of allegations regarding the potential unauthorized usage of practice film. Obviously, we're talking about UAPB, and it happened before they just so happened to play us. After conducting a comprehensive review of the information received, which included an IT analysis provided by DSV Sport, Inc., both oral and written statements from both institutions, individual interviews, along with the consultation of legal counsel. The conference office does not have enough substantial evidence to prove any allegations of unethical conduct by Jackson State University. The Southwestern Athletic Conference has officially concluded its investigation, but it does reserve the right to review any additional information received on this matter. Southwestern Athletic Conference upholds an extremely high standard of integrity with all aspects related to athletic competition, and we will continue to take proactive steps to ensure fair competition within all sponsored sports. Thoughts on the statement, TD?
I'm glad it's over. I mean,
You and me both.
it probably shouldn't have never happened, but being that it did, I'm glad it's over. I'm glad the findings are what they are, and I never doubted that, any of it was true. However, I stated Monday, I'm glad Coach Hampton owned up to his part. If you walk out of my house, if I get a key to my house, you leave, I want my key back. Matter of fact, I'm gonna change the lock, bro. So
Absolutely.
I'm glad that this is over and done with. We need to stop pulling each other down. Let's go with support. So it's over and done with. We can move on.
Man, I think you couldn't say it any better. I can't say that any better, TD. Statement is weak, but it is what it Look, man, I think the statement that was made that needs to be highlighted is a statement that our head coach stated on yesterday, and that is that he prides himself on building a program, doing it the right way. We do not need to we don't need to cheat. We don't need to do anything unethical, man, to win this game. And I just felt, I was a little, ticked behind it's almost like it was guilty until proven innocent. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, man, we have great relationships with these coaches and these players, and it just sucks, man. You see these men out here doing their jobs at the highest level, TD, putting their work in, long hours, and the results are what they are. You know what I'm saying? Hell, when they don't do what we want them to do, you kick them. So when they do what they can't, when they handle business, you want to give credit what credit is due, and you don't want that to be tainted by some false allegations. We all know, we all knew that it wasn't, much to it, but I'm glad it's over with, and it'll never be spoken of again on my end. So as far as I'm concerned,
you can almost hear the beyond sincerity in Taylor's voice when he was speaking. It was so many mixture of things that appeared, when he was talking, like offended, hurt, mad, falsely accused, like you said, guilty and proven innocent. I mean, it just seemed like it was so much there. And I know, I've been on that spectrum before because I try to do things so right to be falsely accused or something, or
it's hurtful, bro.
It's hurtful, especially when you're young men, have to see you deal with that or go through that. But it's life, man. I mean, you're gonna have ups and downs, you're gonna have people lying on you just as sure as you're living on this earth. So all you gotta do is just prepare yourself for just the biggest key about this, and I tell my kids is, man, just make sure what they saying isn't true.
Right.
That's
the best way forward to be, TD. And give me 1 second now. Well, I don't have to do that anymore. without further ado, man, we got our special guest is about to join us.
Kevin D. Kevin D in the chat.
What then that, bro? Hey, what's up? What's up, big bro? What's up, KD?
What's up, man?
That's what it is. Hey, well, anyway, man, but like we stated, man, we got a special guest tonight. We want to appreciate our we have the GM of Go JSU Tigers football, tight ends coach / associate head coach. We got the man himself. We got what's up, coach?
What's up? What's up? Can you
Man,
hear
how
me?
you doing, man? How you doing? How you doing? Welcome to the show. Welcome back, brother. You know, you back, you home, man. So how you feeling?
Blessed and highly favored, man. It's good to still be playing football this time of year.
Hey.
Baby.
Hey, I thought it was man, it felt like it was like pink slip Monday and Tuesday. There's a lot of folk getting gotta go find somewhere else to live or somewhere else to coach, man. And it's definitely a blessing, man, for us to still be playing in December. That's what we said this team was built for.
Yeah, and I know about 16 coaches that reside in Jackson, Mississippi that say they glad it passed their door.
Yes, indeed. Well, Coach, man, first of all, we welcome you to the stream. I'm glad you're here. I just want to tell everybody, man, we hit our goal. So, Austin, we partnered with ASVP, man. We're gonna rent some equipment so we can get we want the best of the best for the SWAC Championship and Celebration Bowl. So we grabbing a couple of lenses, whatever he said. You know how Austin is, man. Austin got big visions, man, and you can speak, but you can speak to that better than I can. But I just want to tell everyone on the stream that I appreciate you guys for the support. We hit our goal. So
it's awesome, man. Just to jump in, Ken, I know Austin, he's been a blessing to our program.
Mm-hmm.
And I throw that word blessing around a lot because for JSU to be successful, we have to be blessed by people. And from the people inside our walls and the people outside our walls, man. It's an honor to work with guys as talented as Austin, but it's also an honor to have him bless JSU with his talents. So we're definitely thankful for that.
Yeah, absolutely, Coach. TD, you got anything before we get jump into some stuff?
Yeah, I wanted to say good evening to you, Coach O. I'm glad you can join us. I knew you was coming, so I combed my beard a few more times because I know a smooth brother was coming up here. You can't smell me, but I put on some Creed. Shout out to
you gotta smell good, brother. You gotta smell good.
Yeah, I did that. I was like, man, look, hey, he ain't gonna come up here and that I'll smooth me today. I was so Coach, Coach, man. Yeah, man. I love being around you, Coach, man. You're a joy. I always see you smiling. You have just dapping people up. It's just your persona, the way you carry yourself, man. I really love the way you can tell the passion that you have about the kids. And my daughter shook your hand one day. After one game, you was going into the locker room. She said, "I'm never washing this hand again." I said, "Baby, you're gonna wash, but you're just shaking again."
No.
So, you know you, man. We appreciate you. Glad you can join us.
I love Tiger Nation, man. I love this family that we have become a part of.
Yep.
It's been fun, man. I've been here 6 years, guys.
Hey, look, Coach, I'm glad you said that because you know what I'm finna do. I'm finna ask you I ask open-end questions. I want you to walk us through. Let me do this because I tried my best, Coach, to give my version of December the 13th, 2022. I got that call over in Cali and, from AD and just kind of, throwing pretty much the idea. We knew Coach Taylor is announced as the head coach after Coach Prime takes over. And now with the success 2 years later, what you guys are doing, you kind of hear some birds chirping out there saying, things was left in a certain manner for you to win. And I want you to give your perspective on that because we talk about the two men that was in that room And it felt like, I'm gonna just be honest, Coach. It felt like, you remember that Will Smith episode when he was in the room by himself and you looking around, and that's what it felt like. But I know you had a vantage point where you was one of the two that was in the building. So we'll start there, because man, the way you guys grabbed this program and where it's at now, my goodness, man, I just want to make sure you guys get your flowers, and for the success that we're garnered, we're able to appreciate, because it wasn't always this sweet. You know what I'm saying? It's good to be back on top, 8-0 in the SWAC again. We kicking teeth and taking names, but I want to start there with you.
Yeah, I appreciate that question, Ken. Because I get I see the chatter, no different than you guys see it. I see people having various opinions on it. All I can remember is walking off that field as a loser the last time I was in Atlanta this time of year. And it wasn't a good feeling. And I remember going to that bus after that game. And when I got on the bus, made sure everybody was at the locker room. I looked across from me. It was only one other coach there, and it was TC. And we told the bus driver, we told the troopers, let's go. And we pulled off, and I saw that black Sprinter in front of us. And that black Sprinter took a right off that stadium lot, and we took a left. And we got on that plane, and it was very somber, because those guys had lost their coach, who they had came to play for. We had lost a mentor who we had grown to adore in his work, and so we understood what was at stake. But we also were optimistic about what was about to happen. What was about to happen was something that was in the works way before Deion Sanders ever came to Jackson State, and we knew we were here for a reason. We were brought here for a reason. I say we, I'm talking about me and TC, of course, but we were brought here for a reason, and we took our time as shepherds, and kind of overseeing the back end of the thing. But we took our time to really grow as men and as coaches, and we took our time to learn this school and learn what it really took to be a head football coach and a GM at Jackson State University. How we could move this program forward when everybody outside of the four walls we sat in felt like it was all coming down. We never wavered. Our faith was there. The plan was there. We started, and I tell people this all the time. People think me and TC been knowing each other for years. Me and TC met each other in January of 2019. That's when me and TC met each other. We had phone conversations leading up to me getting hired by John Hendrick to be the line coach here. Me and TC started having phone conversations, but those conversations, I told TC, and some people have heard me tell this before, I told TC about his career, because I was a Jackson State fan growing up. I was that kid sitting in the bleachers, idolizing those guys on the sideline. And I told him how his career stuck with me, how the mountaintop and the valleys of his career, it meant something to me, because I knew what it took to be a Tiger in his shoes. I saw it. I saw how it was. And so he understood that I came from a genuine place when I told him, man, listen, you're going to be the head coach at Jackson State. And every good, I'm an old preacher's kid, I'm an old Baptist boy, and TC is an old preacher's kid too. I don't know if y'all knew that. So two preacher kids. I
am too.
And so hey, the best preachers, they got an armor bearer. You know what I mean? They got an armor bearer. And the armor bearer is gonna go make sure that thing is right for him. He's gonna make sure that pulpit is set for him. He's gonna make sure the water is cold. And I don't mind being that servant leader for TC. I want to be there for Jackson State football. And I think any good program, any good establishment has a servant leader behind the scenes that's just over quality control. And my entire time at Jackson State, that's what I feel like I've been, quality control. And when Coach Prime was here, man, it was a great experience for us. And I don't want to get too long-winded in this answer, but I wanted to be.
Man, you can be as long-winded as you need to. That's why I asked it that way, because I know it's a long story. I was going for a minute, but keep going, Coach. You good.
So, when Prime was here, man, listen, he made some things happen that I would be a fool to say that anybody else could have made happen, right? He opened some doors and made some changes to the culture at Jackson State that we are still benefiting from today. That goes without saying. I want to make sure I say this though. TC Taylor was a damn good football coach before we were ever hired by Coach Prime. You know, I think that has to be understood in the context of where we're about to go right now. What I'm doing for Jackson State, I was doing prior to Coach Prime, and I honed my skills under Coach Prime. I will say that Coach Prime opened some doors for me that I would have not gotten open for me, and so I am forever indebted to him, and he knows how I feel about it. And so I can't, myself or TC, we cannot say anything negative about him and our experiences with him at Jackson State. However, what you see today, it was a total rebuild. It was a total rebuild. It was a lot of things structurally that were good, but Ken and TD, I want to make sure I say this, and I need people to understand this. You can learn how to do things right, and you can learn how to not to do the wrong things. Right. And I think that was a lot of what we were going through. We were learning how to do some things right, and we were learning how to do some things that were not being done. We had to learn how to do them better, and some things that were being done, we learned how to undo them. So that was a lot of our learning experience. And with that being said, man, you come out of that 2.5 year experiment that turned into a really good situation for us all. You come out of that and you go into, you know, back to that airplane, that bus ride, where it's just me and TC there. And I remember that next day, we got, you know, we said, all right, we'll meet at the office tomorrow morning at 7 o'clock. So this is a Sunday morning. We at the office 7 o'clock. Nobody on staff. It's just me and him. And, you know, as much as we had talked about it, now it's time to put it in action. Where do you start? Where do you start? And man, the phone was ringing. And as much as we were hoping it was a recruit calling to tell us that they were on board, it was more than likely a player telling us that they were leaving. And so you had a lot of that going on. I think me and him were strength for each other in the moment, because if I can be frank, not many men could bear the burden that we bore for those few months. Man, it was tough. It was that building was very dark. The spirit and the energy around the program was very dark. Yep. And many days we had to pick each other up off the mat just to keep going. And the outside world, you know, fans and all, you know, people didn't understand that, you know, the weight of the world was on our shoulders, but we didn't care about that. We just wanted to see Jackson State prevail. And I think when Jackson State fans who know me and TC really put things in perspective, they understand that the two people that could really assure that the fabric of Jackson State football would be kept intact, they were still in the building. That's right. And I refuse, and TC refuses to, and I can speak comfortably saying my brother's name because I've had enough conversations with him to know exactly what he would say. But I think either one of us refused to see this program go the other way. And so we got in there, we went to work. We started making calls. Some of those calls we were making when Prime was in the building, those calls were getting answered. Now those calls weren't getting answered. Yet we just kept playing. We just kept moving. I would say this, it says Guthrie, and I gotta mention him because it says holds a special place in me and TC's heart. E6 was the first recruit for me and TC. And E6 came down. We were playing in the SWAC championship game, and we didn't know if we were going to, you know, be here. We didn't know if TC was going to be the head coach. We didn't know if Coach Prime was going to still be the head coach. E6 spent his own money to come down and go to that game and just, you know, try to get around me and TC and get to know us. And he told me and TC that night, TC, if you get this program, I'm coming. And he was a man of his word, and it's a joy to go out there. And he's our on the field guy. He's that guy that he understands me and TC's fabric, and he's pushing that forward for us on that field. So I want to just throw him a bone because as much as me and TC got this going, I think having a good player like E6 started off, a good mouthpiece, a good high character kid who could galvanize other recruits. I think having him jump on with us, that was important early on. So not to get too long-winded, man. Like I said, it was some dark times early on, but we got in there, went to work, started making those calls, started recruiting, put together a good class, a solid class, a class that was able to keep the momentum going of the previous years. But we also knew that we were going to be able to build on that class, and so we kind of got in there. And I'm gonna kind of stop right there and kind of let you jump back in, Ken. But that's where it was, man. It was a dark time for Jackson State football. but you know, I heard somebody say, they said joy comes in the morning. You know, weeping may endure for a night.
Yeah,
right. Comes in the morning, man. So I guess it's morning time.
It's finally morning. We happy that it is, Coach. I gotta say this, and I'll let TD jump in. You know what? That nighttime weeping, it birthed the evolution of this platform. We just got on this thing and went live, man, and people flocked to it. Everybody needed an outlet, man. It was a tough time, you know, and still trying to come out here and let the Tiger Nation know, man, we're gonna be all right. You know what I'm saying? It was an emotional time, you know. But look at us now, man. I appreciate that story, and I can officially see why E6 say it every time we go to the coin toss. Welcome to Jackson, Mississippi. I love it, man. TD, come on in there. And I'm gonna let Coach finish his story, man. Go ahead. What you got, brother?
First of all, Coach, let me go all the way back to the beginning of your conversation. We all know PK kids are the worst.
I'm not denying it either now. I agree.
We try. So sneaky, man, and bad. It's good though. I have me. But Coach, when I was listening to your story, and I can't get past the beginning, you know, everybody, you know, sitting there in Mercedes-Benz Stadium, rooting the team on for the second time in a row. Great game, by the way. Unfortunately, we didn't come out on top, and we lose the game. And I know how we felt as fans, and we are nowhere near you and Coach Taylor, you know, it's in connection. I mean, with the team and, you know, the intertwined stuff that you guys have. And for you to, I'm just sitting here visualizing you looking to the right, and y'all got all those kids that hurt, all the stuff that has gone on before the Celebration Bowl took place around the SWAC championship. Golly, man. I mean, that's enough to get emotional about. And then you look down and all you got is your brother. And y'all got to take care of all these kids that got to get back to Jackson. And then you say you get on the bus. Spreader van went right. And y'all went left. I was done when you said that, man. I mean, yeah. I mean, it just, everything just emptied out because you got all the other stuff that has transpired, and then the departure in the way that they took place.
Coach, can I add one thing, TD? So, yeah. Coach, I'm on the field, and I'll never forget this moment, man. It was tough. Niles Gaddy didn't get to play in the Celebration Bowl.
Right.
We were close, and you know how you give that hug, man, and they hug you a little longer. Man, I get choked. You know, I'm just seeing the confetti, man. I don't know if anybody got that. I just sat on the chair, man, and just watched it because I knew it was over with. I said, boy. And then Austin plays that no, you know what I'm saying? We go be all right. Then all of a sudden you turn the T. It gave us a glimpse of hope, man. You know what I'm saying? And it was rough. I'm just saying, 2 years later, here we are. And I know the season's not over. We got this is what you guys have built this for. This ain't some recap of the season. This is just we bringing you up to the point that we at because we got to go. We got 2 more to get. You get what I'm saying? But I do want to ask you this because I know you're talking about the players, but I just want to go a little deeper with that, Coach, because it was just I touched on something on Monday. I had to hire a lot of people too, because not only did the players leave, it was a lot of personnel gone too. I'm talking about, it was unraveled, and it's not a knock on anything. It's just, as we stated, when a big fish left out of the room got dark, man. And what we said on Monday, coach, is the bright light was gone, and now y'all got flashlights and candles. And that's a major adjustment from what it was. But it's amazing how it is now. But I wanted to just kind of let you pick back up where you were and just continue on in the direction you got, and we'll go from there.
I mean, not only you can pick back up, but not only is the big fish gone, but then the whole pond is drying up. You know, you have a lot of water in the pond, coach. Yeah. And then it started to dry. You start seeing the mud and the other fish and everything. Yeah. Back that bank, man, and just two fish in there flapping, trying to make do. Oh my God! Go ahead, coach.
Yeah, man. So you know, we started recruiting, we working, you know, and kind of going back to what Ken was saying with the hiring process. You know, TC had a vision, he had a plan, and it was my job to help him execute that plan. So we were meeting and interviewing coaches and support staff personnel at the Celebration Bowl. And, you know, so we were actively trying to get the ball rolling to eliminate any kind of downtime in between the transition, you know. So that I applaud him for making sure that he was on top of his game in that moment, given the circumstances, and, you know, and whatever he knew how I felt about it, whatever he wanted accomplished, I was going to go overboard to try to make it happen on my end. So that was good. So we kind of had that in mind going forward. So when we get back to Jackson, you know, it's some foreign territory for us, because now we're dealing with HR things that we're not accustomed to normally dealing with, right?
Right.
I hadn't necessarily been in the hiring process, nor had TC been in the hiring process at Jackson State. So those are things we're learning on the go. And there's other things we having to learn on the go. But, you know, to our coaches that we were hiring and to the recruits that we were recruiting, one of the things we talked about to each other was, this room in this building can be on fire, but it's our job to never let smoke be seen, right? So we moved, regardless of what was going on, we moved with a calmness to us. We moved with a sureness to our steps, so that the fan base, so that our administration, so that even the naysayers, so that all of them can understand that we understood what our fabric was, but we also had stable footing, and we were going to move forward on one accord. And so that's kind of where we were mentally. Going into that first spring, you know, we wanted to hire guys who had experience coaching, right? We wanted to hire guys who could stabilize this thing the best way we could. So that's why you end up with some older guys on staff that we love dearly. You know, you're talking about Mo Harris, who's at Auburn now, John Bradley and Jason Onyewuaga, who are both the O-line, D-line coaches at South Alabama. Quinn Billerman comes in, coaches the quarterbacks. He's at Austin Peay. These guys came in and did a phenomenal job in stabilizing the program. And I try not to, to throw God into it too much, but I cannot help myself when it just is what it is.
Right.
God put those young men in place because he knew who we needed to have at this program at that time to make sure that it moved forward the right way.
That's right.
Just the structure of it, the discipline of it, the focus of it, understanding the character of winning and how to win, just kind of moving it along that way, right? So I think those guys, they serve their purpose. And I was having a conversation with Coach Collie James not too long ago, and I told him this. I said, you know, and I don't want to get too far ahead in my story. Those guys served their purpose. They did what they were supposed to do. And I know they did what they were supposed to do because they were all blessed to go on and move further along in their careers, right?
Right.
So they did exactly what they were put in Jackson, Mississippi to do. I said, but here's the kicker, though. God moved them because he had a bigger plan for Jackson State football. and he had a way he wanted us to execute it going forward, right? So I'm gonna fast forward a little bit. We go 7-4 last year. Everybody ain't happy. We had some stuff go on during the course of that year I've never experienced as a coach. Man, you talk about the kicking situation. It was a complete embarrassment, man. You know, I told we joke about it now, but it was so surreal in the moment. I talked to the coaches about it. Man, I spent the whole game. I think we was playing Alabama State, and I spent the whole game with my hands on my knees, with my head to the ground. Every time we trotted in a special teams unit on the field, it was so bad, man. And you just saw the holes in the program that we had to fix.
Yeah,
it was this. All right, we can fix this. We can fix this. It was a lot to be done in a year's time, and some stuff we just couldn't get done. And so, you know, you go into the off season after that 23 season with a lot to fix, but we had our foundation in place. And so now you basically start all over again. Your DFO leaves, your OC leaves, your DC leaves. We replaced the receivers coach. We had to make some other changes in the office. So you basically start this whole process over. But again, I think it was God's way of allowing us a good reset, because now we knew exactly what we needed to do. We knew where the deficiencies were in our program, and we knew how to address them. And so he gave us an opportunity to fix it, right? With this off season, me and TC, we sit in the office. You know, what's our plan? What type of coach do we want at Jackson? And one of the things I talk to TC about all the time, I'm big on aesthetics. What does it look like? I want the coach I want him to look the part, right? I want him to be able to communicate with all nationalities, right? I want him to be able to go in these houses, in these homes, and really show the families love, that if they send their children to us, their sons to us, and I say children because people don't understand, when we go out and recruit, we're not recruiting just that football player. He's got siblings, he's got teammates, he's got cheerleaders, he's got band members in that school. And we're recruiting that young man, but that young man is talking to a bunch of other folks.
That's right.
So the folks may choose to come to Jackson State based off what Coach O and Coach TC told that young man. So that's kind of how our mindset is. We want to sell the whole university. So we go into those homes. We want to make sure our coaches can communicate and they're welcomed into homes. So how are you welcomed into homes? You know how to dress. You know how to look the part. TD, you know how to smell good, not overpowering, right? You want to hit them with the right scents. So you smell good, right? You want your skin to look good. That stuff matters to us, right? You know, and the coaches will tell you that. We talk about this when I interview a coach. I talk about the aesthetics of being a coach at Jackson State. It ain't like coaching at another school, and I'm not going to say another school's name, but coaching here, more is required, brother. And that is us establishing what we talk about, Ken, the standard.
That's right.
It's a certain way we're going to do things moving forward. So we had a plan. So I told TC, I said, man, listen, how you feel about, let's go after some of these young up and comers, some dudes that are hungry. They want their first opportunity. They're not going to fail, because they know if they fail at this, it might be it.
Right.
You fail at this job, you might be back in high school. So they're going to give us everything they got. How about let's find some of them dudes, right? So with that being said, one of the first coaches we went and hired Coach Devancy Jones. Right? Yeah, I can see that smile from a mile away, right? And I tell Devancy this all the time. Devancy didn't realize me and TC took a trip to Louisville High School in the fall of 22. In the fall of 22, we were recruiting, but we weren't recruiting anybody at Louisville at the time. But we wanted to stop by Louisville really to check on him. We wanted to check in on Devancy, and you know, he's a Jackson State guy, and he had been doing such a phenomenal job with the defenses over there at Louisville, and so we wanted to check in with him. But we were also planting the seed. we wanted to see what he carried himself like on a day-to-day basis. He didn't know at the time, but we were checking something out. Yeah, we were scoping the scene, right? There you go, T. So man, just his energy when we stopped by the school that day, very forthcoming, very honest about his players, his love and passion for Jackson State. It oozes out his skin. And
yes, sir.
And I walked away very impressed. TC walked away very impressed. And so that was one of the first guys, we agreed on, say, hey, let's see if we can go get him. And there were some schools that wanted Javancy. Javancy, he had some other opportunities at the time. And we told Javancy, you can have other opportunities, but you only got one choice. And so you coming home. It was one of them type of deals, right? So he came in, man. He came in and he hit the ground running. And so we kind of went from there, man. You talking about Javancy Jones, man. He galvanized the fan base, and we saw fans start smiling again who weren't smiling after their first year.
Right.
Happy because they saw, okay, we see the coaches might be listening. They might see where we can get better at. All right, and they're getting a young coach. Well, we didn't want to stop there, right? So one of the next coaches we hired, Coach Kylie James. We knew we had to hire a D-line coach, and so the thing with the D-line, I love energy on the D-line, but it's a certain attitude you got to come with. And I hope everybody, it's Thanksgiving Eve, Ken. So let me put this caveat right here. It's Thanksgiving Eve. Coach TC has given me the day off tomorrow, and I'm gonna be here with my family. So I suggest you get a cup of tea, some Coke or your caffeine of choice, and we're gonna hang out a little while. Okay, so I'm just on the second coach. All right, so listen. So Kylie James, right? So I got a good friend, Jamar Chaney. Jamar Chaney played linebacker at Mississippi State, but he went on to become an assistant linebacker coach at Florida, and now he's the linebackers coach at Baylor. And Jamar Chaney, Jackson State fans, I'm saying that name because that's somebody I want y'all, if you ever come across his socials, just send him a thank you. All right, because he's the one who introduced me to Kylie James. I to him, I said, hey man, look, we're looking for a good D-line coach, a good young one. And man, I don't, I got some names, but I just wanted to tap in with you because you know what I want to get. He said, man, I got the perfect guy for you. And it just so happened, Coach Campbell, and this is just full transparency. It's just how the Lord works. Coach Campbell, who was on the women's basketball staff here in Charlotte with Coach Reed, he had sent me an inbox about Kylie James a week prior to this. And I kind of gleamed at it and just kept it moving. I was okay. And so when the name came back, I said, that's confirmation. I better get on the phone with this guy. And got on the phone with him that same day that Jamar told me about him, and the rest is history. And Coach Kylie James, he'll tell you, he found out real quick. I'm one of the best recruiters in the land, but he's also one of the best recruiters too.
That's right.
I recruited against Florida to get Kylie James. They didn't want to let him go.
Right.
But Kylie James, you can have options, but you got one choice. Jackson State. And so we got him to come. And so that was another big hire for us. And then our next hire, because we lost J.O. and Bradley around the same time. So our next hire was our O-line coach. And Manny. And that's Manny is like, man, me and Manny, that's my guy now. I speak on, listen, he's an O-line guy, first of all, guys. So he's an O-line guy. So that's a relationship right there. I love it. But when I say us O-linemen, we are genuinely salt of the earth type people.
Right.
Ian can attest to this. He's been around us. Me and Manny have very similar personalities, right?
Yep.
We're very welcoming. We're big gentle giants, right? But you piss us off. Right. So there's that. So so Manny came about. Coach Bradley and Coach Manny played together for a brief stint in Detroit with the Lions. And so TC had been watching, we had been talking about Manny all year, man. We just been impressed with Texas Southern's run game. And man, we love the way they run the football. If we can run the ball like that, we're going to be successful. And so when J.O. decided to take that job at South Al, man, we said, look, let's reach out to Manny and see what his thoughts are on it. And he, of course, had some options on the table. And Manny said, I came to Jackson State, and I think he told you this, Quinn. I mean, not Quinn, I'm sorry, Ken. But I think he told you this a couple of months ago. He said he came to Jackson State to play us in 2021 when he was at Texas Southern.
Yep.
And he walked out the locker room onto that field. He looked around and he said to himself, I can see myself coaching here one day.
That's what he said.
Yeah, he said that. And when I hear stuff like that, again, I'm not trying to throw God in y'all face like that, but I'm telling you,
we all need
it. He places stuff in your path, and when he triggers your thoughts on certain things, you know it's confirmation. I think that was confirmation for both parties that Manny needed to be in Jackson, Mississippi for this 2024 season. And so, like I said, man, I'm too old. That O-line, that D-line, getting that right was essential. It was important. But the thing I like about Manny, and I brag on Manny to everybody I can, and the same goes with Khalid. But the thing I like about Manny doesn't have to beat his kids over the head and cuss them and talk crazy to them to get them to perform.
Right.
He knows how to correct and coach in a way that empowers his players. And that's the vision that we have for this program. We all get on our players. Don't get me wrong. When it's time to go to the other side, we all have that in us. We can all go to the other side, but we want to speak from a place of empowerment first. We want to speak from a place of encouragement. You know what I mean? We want to build these guys up so that they feel like when they step on the field, they're the greatest thing walking. So we want our coaches to walk like that, to speak like that, and coach like that. And that's what these two men did for us. Okay, so I'm getting, I got chill bumps thinking about this stuff because it's so real to me, man. It's so real and it's so real. Two different things, but I'm telling you, it's special, right? And I don't get to verbalize this often, so it's exciting for me. But you fast forward, right? So I told you we had to make a change at the receiver spot, and the receiver room wasn't producing the way we felt like it should have produced, and we had plenty of talent in the room last year, but it wasn't coming together like we thought it should come together. And the receivers, that's TC's baby. You know what I mean? Like TC could cut on and that me and him bump heads. I'm gonna be that moment of transparency, right? Me and him will bump heads. Like we can agree on every recruit on our board. When it comes to receivers, I like him, he hate him, right? Like I'm looking at the dude, and it's true story now. We was looking at the kid the other day, and I didn't, because I know TC. I hadn't even shared this with TC, right? So it's funny to me. I was looking at a receiver the other day, and I said, man, this kid can play. I like him, right? I like him, man. He can run. I love hips. He's fluid in his transitions. I'm scout talk, right? And so I said, man, let me send him to TC. Before a receiver coming in the building, he's got to get through TC. So let me send him to TC. Let him check him out. He's all right. So I'm over here pissed off. Like, man, I know the kid can play. I didn't want to tell him, man, the kid just got offered by 3 SEC schools. But I just leave it alone. And so but that's just kind of how me and him are. But long story short, so we're looking for a receiver coach, and he had his list of guys, and I had a list of guys, and we got a mutual friend, Zoe Carter. Zoe Carter is the running backs coach for the Arizona Wildcats. And Zoe Carter is one of the most influential Black coaches in the country. And he's a coach that many of us as Black coaches, as Black leaders, we look to when we need advice on things in the coaching profession. He has the Black Coach Coalition, and I don't want to misspeak the title, but the Black Coaches Association. He's kind of the overseer of that, and they have a convention every February in Las Vegas. And so me and Coach TC will be going out there to Las Vegas to speak on a panel with them guys. But long story short, Zoe Carter, interesting story about him. Just so you know, he was one of the backup dancers for MC Hammer. All right, so on to our stuff, right? So I reached out to Zoe, said, Zoe, man, me and TC looking for an up and coming receiver coach. I know your Rolodex is full of guys. Send me a couple. Let me just look them over and tell them to send me their resumes. So he sent me a few guys, but I didn't call it. I didn't call all of them back. I called one back. I called two, but the second one didn't answer the phone. I called one back twice. And the one I called back twice was Vincent Marshall. And Vincent Marshall, listen, man, he's a whew.
Oh, yeah.
To the fans that know Jason Phillips, our receiver coach under Coach Prime, Vincent Marshall is off the Jason Phillips tree. He played with Jason Phillips at Houston. And Jason Phillips is a extraordinary receiver coach. But he's also one of the most hard-nosed receiver coaches in the country. You either hate him or you love him, right? And Coach Marshall has that same energy. But again, he knows how to use it. He knows when to use it. It's just a perfect touch of he can beat you over the head with discipline, and then he can soften it to make sure you know that he loves you. And we appreciate coaches like that, because the receiver room, let me tell y'all something. The receiver room, if you don't understand the receiver room is full of divas. And I know some of our players on this thing listening, and they know I'm telling the truth. They divas, right? Their dress has to be a certain way. If their jersey doesn't fit a certain way, their hands don't work. You know what I'm saying? It's how they are, right? So it's very important to get the right leader in that room. You know what I mean? TC was a great receiver coach because he knew how to get that room on the same page. And you got to have a borderline, excuse me, Coach Marshall, Coach TC, and all the other receiver coaches, but you got to have a borderline fool in that room with receivers. Just hear me out, okay? Like, they got to be willing to go there. I'm just being honest with y'all. It's a different room. Think about T.O., right? Think about Chad Ochocinco. Think about these type of dudes. And these are receivers looking towards, right? And so the room is a little different. So you got to have a guy like Coach Marshall to come in. Let me tell you, so I won't be too long with it. Coach Marshall has done a phenomenal job just, man, getting the most out of the room, right? Yes. We are down our top four receivers, right? Jonas Fortillion was still expected to be developing right now, right? We knew he was turning the corner, but we didn't know he was fit to turn the corner, right? And we were expecting him to kind of ease his way through this year, make plays for us. But guess what? He got the most out of Jonas than we could have expected anybody to get out of him. And it came at a time where we could not falter. It couldn't go another way. We didn't have anybody else to go to. We needed Jonas to become a #1 receiver. And man, this man has done just that. He's made Isaiah Spencer into a bona fide weapon, right?
Yes,
you have everybody in that room ready, willing, and able to contribute, and that's because he keeps the foot on the gas every single day, right? He keeps them working, he keeps them focused. He doesn't let anything go unchecked, right? And so that's Coach Marshall. So let me fast forward a little bit. All right, so then we go to Coach Gallen, right? Coach Gallen came in. We had to make some changes in our recruiting department, right? So I wanted Coach B, and I'm a kind of Coach B was the running backs coach last year. Coach Brandon Morton. I'm gonna kind of tie these two in, Ken. Coach Brandon Morton. We moved specifically over recruiting, and the reason we did that, Coach Brandon Morton is going to be a phenomenal coach. And we know his strengths right now are in recruiting, and we wanted to make sure we established ourselves and kept ourselves established as the #1 recruiting school as far as football was concerned in the country. So Coach Morton had a good understanding of how we recruited at Jackson State because he had been with us since 2021. the other side to it is Coach Morton is the primary recruiter. He's the reason that Irv Mulligan is at Jackson State. I want to make sure you understand that.
That's right.
While Coach TC and myself may have helped close that deal, Coach Morton is the reason he's at Jackson State. And so when you are able to identify talent, KJ, I can't name slipping me right now.
KJ Chisholm.
Give it to me, Chisholm. I'm sorry.
Chisholm.
Yeah, I'm sorry, KJ. But even with KJ was a top cornerback in the state of South Carolina, and Coach B went over there and got him. He's been able to identify gems and diamonds in the rough, and that's been good for us. So with that moving him to the recruiting side, we were able to bring Coach Gallen in. And Coach Gallen is me and TC's golf buddy. He was my golf buddy before he left. He was here in 2020. Well, 2019, he was hired by Coach Hendricks in that transition going into the 2020 season. And so ultimately, he was let go with that staff. But we built a relationship with him in a short period of time. We saw what kind of man he was. We saw what he brought to that room. We saw what kind of knowledge he had as an offensive mind. And so when we needed a running back coach, we wanted somebody to come in with some maturity, but we also wanted somebody to come in who the players can look at. They saw he had done it on a high level, and they had to respect him because of the game he had, right? And so you get all of that with Coach Gallen. Coach Gallen is a great brother, man. He's a friend first. He's a great man. Love him to death, and he's done a phenomenal job with that running back room. You look at that running back room. I don't care who we've given the ball to this year; they have been able to produce.
That's right.
Right? We've had about 9 or 10 running backs touch the football this season, and all of them have been productive. Right? We had a fumbling problem last year, and that has become minimized, and we're trying to eliminate it. But he has done a phenomenal job just teaching the basics of playing the game at a high speed, but with a great mindset. And believe it or not, and I see that comment you just put up, Ken. He gets confused with TC a lot. Yeah. Right? When we go to the golf course, TC can be on the golf cart with me, and Coach Gallen can be in the clubhouse, and they think Coach Gallen is TC. And so it happens a lot. We're going to make him cut his beard off. That's what we told him. So he's going to have to go bareface after a while.
So ESPN get a pass then, huh?
Yeah, we'll give them a pass on that one. They need to do better research too now, because I heard the broadcast, and I'm kind of disappointed in them. I could have never mind. I'm gonna leave that alone, but they could have did better. But yeah, Coach Gallen, man, it's been a blessing for us. Okay, so fast forward, let's go to that defensive side real quick. So during the spring, Coach Taquan Hammock was still in the building, and well, no, I take that back. Early in the spring, he was still in the building, but prior to spring ball starting, he made a decision. He's from the Northeast area. He had an opportunity to go back to the area and coach, and he took that opportunity. And I tell you again, like I started off this conversation with you, God got a way of making things happen for you without you having to move a hand. And he made that bed just as easy as he wanted to make it for us. And we were able to do. I did what I had done before. I reached out to Jamar one more time, because Jamar is a good young up and coming coach. I said, Jamar, man, listen, we got some linebacker coaches that I like, and then we interviewed, but I wanted to see what you got. Send me a couple. Let me see what you got. So he sent me. He said, listen, man, I ain't finna send you a couple. I'm finna send you the one. He's my assistant. This dude is finna be an amazing coach. You need to get him while you can. He didn't say anything about all the intangibles that came with him. He just told me from face value what this guy was, okay? And so I got on the phone with Chris Orr, okay? Chris Orr, the name not registered in the bill with me at the time. Got on the phone, started talking with him. Had a great conversation with him. Didn't get into a lot of X's and O's at that point. Just talk life. I'm sorry. Just talk life. Where he was from. He told me he was from a football family, but again, not connecting the dots yet. You know, he told me where he went to school, and that kind of struck a bell. I said, okay, or it's like I remember his name maybe playing at Wisconsin, and so boom, we got fun, started doing research. So I said, okay, this dude's a stud. Oh yeah, this is the kind of guy we want to bring in for our linebackers. Oh yeah, he can strike. This is the attitude. This is the type of linebacker we want. So I know he can coach him, right? And he came with high praise. He came with a great recommendation. And so boom, end up getting with Coach Quinn and Coach TC. Said, hey man, here's his resume. Look it over. Let me know if y'all want to talk to him. And so we ended up talking about a week later. Said, yeah, let's get him on a Zoom interview. Let's talk to him. So we got him on a Zoom interview. He blew them away. I think that's our guy. Okay. So me and Chris got on the phone, kind of started talking the semantics of how we're gonna get you to Jackson State, right? What is it gonna take to get you to make that decision, right? So got to talking. He told me, said, yeah, man, my brother's the DC for the Baltimore Ravens. I said, huh? Say it again. What? Yeah, my brother's the DC for the Baltimore Ravens. I said, I said, TC, his brother the DC for the Baltimore Ravens. I was texting him as I was talking to Chris. He said, hurry up and hire him. That's what TC. And so, man, he's been a blessing though, and it has nothing to do with his brother. The boy knows football, man. Right, he knows how to coach. He knows how to teach. He knows how to lead his room. His room believes in him. They work for him. They work tirelessly for him. They work for each other. And the thing, and I hope y'all hear it in my voice, the thing about this team, and you can see it from how I'm describing the coaches, this team plays for each other.
Yes.
Right.
They love it, right? The linebackers play for the D-line. The D-line plays for the secondary. The secondary plays for the linebackers. They love each other, right? And the same goes all the way across the board to the offense. But it's because these coaches, we hired the right guys. All of them fit me and TC's personality. TD, Ken, if you guys have been around us, if I'm lying to these folks on this live, tell them I'm lying. These guys fit our personalities to a T.
They do.
Personalities to a T, right?
Right.
Javancy is he's the crazy side of me, right? And Marshall is the calm, cool side of me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But they fit our personalities. They fit into the fabric of what we're trying to do at Jackson State. So I wanted to kind of encompass all that and kind of give you an overview of those guys. We had a plan that we wanted to go young. We needed juice. We needed energy. We needed guys to love playing football at Jackson State. We didn't need guys that loved just to play football. We wanted guys that loved Jackson State, but they also love playing football for Jackson State. That's a little different. And so that's what we think. We got coaches who could get that message across, but then we started getting that message across to the players because coaches had the right energy and they had the right consistency in the message to get it across.
Wow. Wow. Hey, Coach, I want to say this, man. I mean, so much was said. You know, I'm like that old cash register back in the day. You know, you'll be through scanning and still be ringing it up. That's how my mind going right now. What you just said, Coach. So, man, I appreciate that. One thing I wanted to say, Coach, go ahead.
No, TD, hold that thought. I got it because I knew I forgot somebody. Can I just say something about Rip Kirk?
Oh yeah.
All right, listen now. Rip Kirk is he was with us last year. He was with us as he's quality control offensive analyst, right? Rip Kirk is one of the brightest minds in college football. All right, Jackson State fans, I need y'all to understand. This young man is going to be a rock star offensive coordinator someday, and he knows the game inside and out. He's able to communicate with those quarterbacks. Those quarterbacks love him. They play hard for him. But this dude, he's a joy to work with, but he is absolutely one of the brightest minds I have been around in the offensive room. And I'm telling you, his best days are ahead of him. So I apologize. I left him out of that first part, but he is a big time important factor in what we're doing offensively. So I wanted to give him his flowers.
Hey, Coach, before you go again, I'm gonna throw one more coach in there if you don't mind. Speak to Coach Mario.
Yeah, man. So Mario again, he was with us in 2023 as well. Mario, another one of those young coaches, man. He's an up and comer. Mario, it's funny, man. I thought I smiled a lot, right? Like I smile. I could be pissed off and I smile through it all, right? Mario smiles. Mario had and I hope he forgives me for saying this, but I got to give you an example that is so true as a testament to the kind of person he is. Mario had a wreck last week, and he had an accident, and the car was in bad shape. They totaled the car. Mario could have been done for the season, right? He could have been somewhere in a hospital trying to recover. Right. But he was spared. He's doing fine. Got minor bumps and bruises. But I said all that to say this. I called Mario when I got wind of the wreck. I called him, and he said he was on his way to the hospital. But you could hear him smiling through the phone.
Mm.
Hey, Coach, I'm good. I'm good, Coach. Nah, I'm good. I'll be at work tomorrow. No worries. I'm going to the hospital. Just gonna let them check me out just in case. You know what I mean? But that energy is contagious, right? That energy, it helps young men see that it's positivity in everything. Every day ain't got to be dark. Every day ain't got to be bad. Just because your girlfriend made you mad don't mean you got to bring it to this field house.
That's right.
That type of energy that you got to have in your building, because people understand that when a smile is seen and is caught. It is contagious. And I love smiles because I know a smile can keep the enemy at bay. A smile can hide really my true intentions, right? When I went to Alabama State the other week and them folks stole my clothes at the locker room, I don't mean to bring that up. I was pissed off, right? I had two tops, I had two hoodies that I really liked, right? And they ain't steal nobody else's clothes.
Right. Yeah, I found this strange too.
So I'm looking for the sucker who wear 4X and work at Alabama State. But listen to me. So
I'm going with you, Coach.
They stole my clothes, but I smiled through it, right? But listen, right. I'm telling y'all, man. I don't know if anybody understands how smiling can disrupt the enemy.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? It can disrupt the enemy. And that's the type of person Mario is. Mario could be having a bad day. I could be having a bad day, but when I see his smile, man, it ain't that bad. Come on, you gonna be all right. You know what I mean? So I appreciate you bringing him up, Ken. Another man, good young coach. We have, and I've been asking Trav to verify this, but I'm gonna verify for myself on this live tonight. We got the youngest coaching staff in America. And,
I believe, yeah.
I think our average age is right around 33 years old. And that's saying a lot. And the gamble that we took on hiring a lot of, I ain't gonna say a lot, but several of our position coaches, Rip Kirk, Khalid James, Chris Orr, Javassi Jones, they haven't even reached their 30s yet. They're 20-year-olds. And a lot of coaches would say we are fools for hiring these young coaches who haven't experienced enough of life yet. But my thing is, if you have walked a mature lifestyle, if you have experienced and you have been led by your parents and you have taken your parents' teaching and instruction, God lets the youngest of us be a lesson to us all. And that's what we got going on right now. These young guys are being a lesson to these other young guys. So now I got a 27-year-old telling a 22-year-old in his position room that you too, my brother, can expect greatness as soon as you leave Jackson State University. You feel what I'm saying? That's the type of stuff we got going on in that building right now. That's why I don't care about hiring a young guy. I heard coaches talk bad about us, about hiring young guys and how they didn't believe in us. Hell, it wasn't your business to believe in us, right? It was our business to believe in what we had going on. You feel what I'm saying? So when I speak that stuff, when I tell them dudes, hey man, you were supposed to be here because I knew God was clearing a path for you to come to Jackson State, and we hired you because he cleared that path for you. And we're doing what we're doing now because he said you guys have been in divine alignment with me. And you have done everything I've asked you to do. And you keep doing what I asked you to do. I'm going to keep putting the right people in your path. So that's what we doing.
Hey, brother, you speaking that you speaking now, man. I'm just trying to tell you now. You speaking. I got before anybody say hold on. I think I gotta do this, coach. You got one more coach I need you to talk to me about. I need you to talk about the defensive coordinator, and then we'll leave the coaching staff alone. I think that completes it all. I want to make sure this guy, because let me say this, coach, before you even go. One of the brightest football minds that I've had the pleasure of actually talking to. I told TD about that, and I talked to everyone about that. I just don't really understand just how cerebral Coach Terenzo Quinn is, and had a chance to interview Jaheim Hazel, who was also the first cousin of Irv Mulligan, who's also the first cousin of KJ Chisholm from the Beaufort, South Carolina area. And Jaheim said he's the smartest coach he ever had coached for. He's ever played for. So I just want to make sure Coach Quinn get a moment. Since you're giving out that good stuff tonight, you got to at least touch on Coach Quinn for me.
Yeah, man. Coach Quinn, he was one of the first guys we hired when we made the transition, right? When we hired Coach Bradley said, I can't do this without Quinn, right? And so I'm going to say this just to speed that part up.
Yep.
Coach TC's and Coach Quinn's demeanor are very similar. Very, very calm, but very pointed in their talk. They know how to lead a room. They know how to galvanize their position, their units. But like you said, Ken, he's one of the sharpest defensive minds I've ever been around. I'm serious. We won't get out coached by anybody. Okay, that ain't gonna be it. I promise you. These dudes are very sharp. But the thing I love about Quinn, Quinn is a black and white type of guy, right? So you got that youth on that staff, and he's young himself, but he was able to drop the young coach mindset quickly, and he said, "I got to be a mentor to these guys we bringing in, right?" And ever since we have brought in the staff under him, he's been a consistent force in their life. Just trying to make sure they understand that preparation has to be done a certain way. He's been a consistent force in their life, just making sure that they understand that being family men counts when we do what we do. You got to be a family man. And so just being a role model, even when he's not trying to be a role model, right? Just being a big brother figure, somebody they can look at and say, he's a young coach. We on a very similar path as him, and he's doing it the right way, and he ain't got a lot of foolishness going on. Mm-hmm. That is what we love about Quinn, right? But the other thing we love about Quinn is that he ain't finna take no mess off that defense. See, the defense at Jackson State and everything, and we're gonna get into that in a second, because we just really, I'm telling, hey, Ken, I ain't even got to the text yet, right? I ain't even got to like,
we got something for him.
Yeah, so I ain't gonna get too far off in this thing, but listen. So when you talk about the defense and offense at Jack State, we can go back to the 90s. When I grew up in Jack State football, the late 80s, the early 90s, and going into the 90s, whatever, 96, Black College National Champions, defense has always been a constant at Jackson State, right? I remember in Bo and Quincy Lewis, right? I remember those guys back in the day just being just physical, just a physical presence, right, on the field, right? But I knew it wasn't necessarily because just of them alone. They had to have somebody behind them just pushing, just grinding them, right? I remember Coach Hurt. I remember Coach Bishop, but I also remember Big Daddy, right? Yep. Big Daddy was that D coordinator that he was Coach Gordon's voice on the defensive side of the ball. Coach Gordon didn't have to worry about defense too much because Big Daddy had it. And that's kind of what we got with Coach Quinn. We ain't got to stick out here in the defensive room because he got it. Like, he got it. Like, they know he ain't playing. They know he has a high, he has a he has a high expectations for what he wants his defense to look like. Coach TC told him what he wants Jackson State's defense to look like. And guess what? The defenses that you guys are used to seeing attacking, right? Not waiting, but attacking. That's what you get now, right? You see the speed, you see the aggression. You know, you hear them say the word strike, know the structure. You know, be where you're supposed to be. You know, that means they have a plan. They have a philosophy in place. And man, one of the brightest minds in the building, like you said. But he's also one of the brightest minds in the SWAC. He's one of the brightest minds in HBCU football. Ceiling is as high as he wants it to be.
Right.
You know, and like Blue said, I think he's one of the next up and coming head coaches. I'm excited for him. He's going to be really good when he gets his call. But I also think Quinn he was right for us. He was the perfect D coordinator. We didn't bat an eye. TC said, you know, as soon as Bradley called him and said he was taking a job, he called Quinn 5 minutes later and told him, you know, asked him, are you ready? You know what I mean? And the rest is history. So I think that says a lot. You got a leader in place who's confident about who he's hiring, but he also knows he's hiring guys that he can also promote. And that's very important in the role we're in.
And not to mention Coach Quinn, you know, he spoke on being an offensive player before he became, offensive coach before he became a defensive coach.
No doubt about it. He was. Matter of fact, he used to call Coach TC. Well, I think the offensive coordinator at the time that he was under, and Coach Thomas, who was the head coach at Alcorn now, used to call Coach TC to ask, you know, their thoughts on certain philosophies. So a lot of stuff that, you know, that they did at Mississippi Delta when he was under Coach Thomas came from Coach TC.
Coach, I gotta welcome the matriarch of the channel. You know what I mean? She don't pop up too often, but when she do, I knew when you was talking that good stuff. I said, here she come. Gotta get my sister up here, man. She shot me that message, says, bro, send me that link. I said, all right. I know you. She had to sit patiently and let you cook.
How you doing, Coach O?
How you doing, Ms. Rochelle?
You know, what's funny is that this entire year, I've been saying the scripture, and I was waiting for you because you're a PK kid. I'm like, why haven't he said the scripture? The Bible says.
Hey, look, Ms. Rochelle, I get to, you know, when I get to going with the team, when, you know, the old Baptist preachers, every now and then when they get too quiet in the church, I say, hello.
But Romans 8:28 is the one that I think I said this with Coach TC. For we know that all things work together for the good. And while I'm sitting here listening to you talk, it's like this thing was just perfectly orchestrated through it all. And what I think is amazing, this is for these Jackson State fans. I hope y'all understand, and God gave y'all a little preview of what was going on because we panic all the time. I need y'all to reference that scripture too, for we know all the stuff that we have been through as a school, as fans, has still worked together for our good. So I need us to realize that sometimes things come not to make us bitter, but make us better.
Mm-hmm. Amen.
And so as I sit here and listen to you talking, and the next scripture let me complete the scripture because I don't want to, you know, take the word. It says, for we know that all things work together for the good for those who love him and who have been called according to his purpose. And then the second one that got me was Joshua 1:9, where it says, I am not commanded you, be strong and courageous. I'm talking to y'all Jackson State fans too. Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged, for the Lord your God will be with you whenever you go. So as I was sitting there, listen, I had to go. I had on my pajamas. You understand what I'm saying? I was about to take a whole lap over here. If I had a little organ, I'm in Atlanta, so it's a whole 11:39. But I was like, this man finna make me do a whole lap up in this, and these kids asleep in this house. But I want you to know, Coach O, the way you talked about this, I understand why that scripture has been in my head for you guys, that through everything that has been going through, God has given y'all are so much bigger than just a football team.
Amen.
I don't, it's so much bigger than just because you guys are molding these young men who don't have fathers. But to see that young, because that little JV, that young man tickles me every time I see him. I was like, that boy's like the Energizer Bunny. He keeps going and going and going. So I'm excited. But this right here was amazing. So yeah, we know that God knows the plans he has for us, but even I think what you were talking about, it fitted the entire school. I hope that makes sense what I'm saying to you.
Yep.
It fitted the entire school. And sometimes even God said, what Satan meant for evil. Come on now. What
Mm-hmm.
okay, you're a PK kid, so it's for your good. So I'm gonna end this thing right now because you got some more to say. But you had a whole sermon. I said, come on, PK kid, let's do this.
Listen, I done heard a lot of good sermons and a lot of bad sermons, so I just try to stay somewhere in between.
So, Coach,
thank you, Ken, for letting me talk. I'm gonna go back down because I got something to say.
Thank you so much.
Good. Thank you. Good to see you. I'm gonna wrap with you, okay?
Okay, you guys have a happy day. I'm just gonna go down in the chat, but I talk to y'all later.
All right, man.
Happy Thanksgiving, Rochelle.
All righty.
So, Coach, let's jump into it, man. When we talked on Monday, you talked about the philosophy, man, of this team. I know I got a chance to appreciate you for taking the hoodie, man. I got y'all these standard hoodies. We talked about the standard being the standard, and you want to jump into this real quick?
Yeah. So
I'll bring this up.
So Ken, me and Ken bumped into each other, man, and he gave me that hoodie, and I kind of started telling Ken, man, listen, man, it's crazy how aligned we are as a university, and we don't even realize it. Fan base, university, athletic department, we all in alignment. And I told Ken I wanted to let y'all in on just what the standard really is for JSU football. This is a document. This is a visual aid that our players see every week, multiple times a week. They recite this multiple times a week. When Ken put the standard on that hoodie, he had never seen this before. When the president and the admins talked about the standard, JSU being the standard, they had never seen this document before. This document is something that I was with the 49ers a couple of years ago, Ken, and had opportunity. When I go places, and they say you go places, you try to learn, and you try to take something from from there. And so having an opportunity to sit in those meetings with those guys, and one of the meetings, they were doing a new rollout. I don't want to say a new rollout, but they were just reintroducing their team standard. And I was kind of taken aback, how locked in everybody was on making sure they adhere to that standard that John Lynch has set for their organization. And so I said, you know what, when I get back to Jackson, Mississippi, this is a championship organization I'm with the 49ers. We at Jackson State, as a football program, we need something very, very similar to this. And so I just let it rest on my heart for a couple of weeks. I didn't do anything with it. And man, one day I got up and I just started writing. And it's crazy. I came up with this, but I had something else in mind. And so let me read this, and then we're going to go to the next slide so you can see what I had in mind. It said the JSU football standard. So we talk about this one game at a time. If you notice how we play football at Jackson State, we're not worried about the Celebration Bowl. I need y'all to understand, understand that in all true sincerity. We are not worried about the Celebration Bowl. I need Southern to understand that and hear that from the bottom of my heart, and from the bottom of TC's heart, and from the bottom of every player on our roster's heart. We do not care about the Celebration Bowl at this appointed time. Our only concern right now is Southern University. That's our concern right now. We take it one game at a time. We believe in that. We harp on it. We don't run from it. We want Southern. We want them in Jackson, Mississippi, and we are looking forward to December 7th at 1 o'clock. Okay, so that I want to make sure that's understood. So one game at a time, the JSU football standard: a persistent competitiveness, effort, commitment, toughness, excellence, physicality, and desire to force opponents to quit. The goal is to, in all things, dominate. That's our standard. Okay. All right. I need y'all to understand that. Take a picture of it, keep it in your back pocket. If you talk about Jackson State football, if you talk about how does Jackson State play, what is the expectation of Jackson State football, This is the expectation of Jackson State football. It ain't the expectation of no podcaster. It ain't the expectation of no fan. It ain't the expectation of your mama and daddy. It ain't the expectation of your pastor. This is the expectation. Every time we take the field, we're going to compete. We're going to compete with a high effort. We're going to be committed to it. We're going to be tough. We're going to be excellent. We're going to be physical. And it's our desire to force whoever we playing. It's our desire to force them to quit. And the goal, the overall goal, while we are trying to accomplish those individual tasks, the overall goal is to dominate. That's what our players believe. That's why they're playing so well. They're not worried about the opponent. We don't play all corn. We play Jackson State. That's our mindset. You get what I'm saying? Like that's where we at. That's the energy we feed off of. This is our rubric. When we wake up on Sunday morning, win or loss, we go back to the standard. We don't go back to the film first. Go back to the standard first. If you accomplished every point of the standard, we should have won that game. Then we can go watch the film. Okay? This is going to tell me whether or not we won the game, whether or not we can accomplish every point on this standard. Okay? All right, so y'all got that part, right? So Jackson State fans, I need y'all to understand. This isn't just a thrown together standard. Ken, go ahead and hit the next slide. The standard came, it's a fabric, right? It's six pillars in that standard. When W.C. Gordon sat down at that table some years ago, and he took that napkin, and he started drawing those lines on that napkin. Somebody told me he drew 6 lines, Ken.
That's right.
And in my mind, if I was there sitting with W.C. Gordon, right, and I was watching and I was talking to him, I would have asked him, well, Coach, what does that line mean? What does line number 2 mean? What about that line? What does that mean, Coach? Well, I wasn't there, but I saw those teams play. I've talked to those players. I've talked to numerous fans who saw it, and they told me a lot of the stories about that time, right? So in my mind, I sat down with TC. What are some of the things that you think W.C. Gordon wanted his teams to look like? What are those things? Well, we think he wanted them to be committed to the task, right? Whatever it is we set out to do, right? And I need y'all to understand about the standard, that the standard does not necessarily to speak specifically to football. We think about this standard in life, right? So be committed to whatever task that is in front of you, okay? Be committed to it. Then we talk about competitiveness, right? And I'm just going clockwise around the clock from 12 o'clock, right? So we're going competitiveness, right? We want to be the most competitive team on the field. But how do you compete? You learn how to compete by doing it daily, right? What we show up every morning at 7 a.m., waking up with the mindset that we want to be better than we were yesterday. So the first person you got to beat is yourself, all right? Be better than you were yesterday, okay? The next thing is, it's somebody in that room, in that Jackson State position room, in that unit meeting that is just as good or better than you, and they want your job. Are you going to let them have it? You going to make it that easy for them? Or do you want to compete, make it hard for them? Like diamonds are made out of pressure, right?
Pressure.
Right? Pressure makes diamond, right? Right? And they say iron sharpens iron, right? So we want guys who want to be iron. We want guys who want to feed off pressure, right? Those are the type of guys who want to compete at all costs, right? But then if you're going to compete, you got to be tough, because everything ain't going to go your way. Everybody ain't going to just lay down and let you whoop them.
That's right.
When you step into these arenas, you're going to be met with fierce competition from the other side. Yesterday, we had the opportunity, and thanks to our admins, we took the team to watch Gladiators 2, right? Because we about the man in the arena right now, okay? It's about us in the arena, and we in that Coliseum, and it's one of those deals where it's either us or them. And we refuse to die. We refuse to be denied, right? But you got to have toughness to get through this thing, right? It ain't going to be easy. But then you go to excellence. In all we do, we want to be excellent. You know, we got to go back to what we talked about, the aesthetics. We want to look the part. That's excellent. We talk about Black excellence, right? Right, being confident in how we walk, being confident in how we talk, being confident in the way we carry ourselves, right? Excellence. Excellence means we're not going to be an undisciplined team. Excellence means that at the end of the Alabama State game, we're going to take our butts to the band and go celebrate with the band instead of getting caught up in foolishness, right? That's what excellence is, okay? So guess what? Sunday morning, when we have to address the team about that issue, we go to this rubric right here on the board. Was that excellence? No, it wasn't, right? You got something that you can put in their face so they'll know you did not adhere to the standard, right? And then from there, we want to play every game with a mindful physicality, intentful physicality. Right. We want to think about it, but we also want to be intentful and do it, right? We want to show it. We want you to, hey, when you cut on ESPN, when you cut on the game tape, when you put on, we tell the players all the time, we want you to put on tape what you want the next player or the next team to be worried about, right? So we want the physicality to pop off the tape, right? Strike. That's what you hear our coaches talking about all the time. We ain't talking about FAMU type of striking. We ain't talking about morale stuff, right? We're talking about striking. Coach Chris Orr calls it making them into a starfish. You know what a starfish do when you hit them? They just lay out. They spread out wide. They just laid out. Making them into a starfish, being physical, right? But then the last thing we talk about, and it ain't the least important, but it's going to tie everything together, right? We're going to do everything with an ecstatic and persistent effort, right? Effort. We're not going to let anybody outplay us in the stadium, right? Because they came and they're motivated. It's their homecoming. They're not going to outplay us. No, we're not going to do that. We're going to be the most excited team in the building, and our effort is going to show it for 4 quarters. And if they ask for 5 or 6, we can give it to them for that too. All right. So I wanted Ken to show the fan base this because I needed you guys to understand the level of alignment that we have inside of Jackson State football. But that alignment is not just for self. That alignment is going across the board for this entire university and fan base. That standard, it did not come from the last 2 years, the last 4 years. That standard was built from years long ago. Okay, that standard was built before me and TC was ever thought about coming to Jackson State. Okay, and I hope and I pray that that standard is something that Coach Gordon would have been proud of. Okay, that's the seriousness of that situation for me and TC. We're standing on the shoulders of giants, and the reason we're standing on their shoulders is because we know if we stand on their shoulders, we can overlook a lot of the BS that comes with being a coach in this arena, and we can press on and do our job the way our fan base deserves it. And that's why we were the right people to be here in this present moment. So I wanted to share that with you guys. I'm excited about where we are as a university. I'm not speaking just as a football team. I'm saying as a university. Coach Prime came in and he did exactly what he was hired to do. He put that block, he put that J in households that had never seen it before.
That's right.
It's stuck on their minds. When they go to sleep at night, they wish they could get Jackson State off their minds. And yet it is, we still winning. I need y'all to understand that. They want to send us to the goulash, Ken.
They can't do it.
They can't do it. Can't do it. Because this standard, this period of Jackson State is tied in and is being kept by Bob Hill. It's tied in and it's being kept by W.C. Gordon. It's tied in and it's being kept by Big Daddy James Carson. We know they looking down and we know they proud because guess what? We're doing it the right way. And we're going to keep doing it the right way. And we're going to keep striking folks. We're going to keep being physical. We're going to keep recruiting, out-recruiting everybody. We're going to keep being the #1 football graduating team in HBCUs. I'm going to say that again. We're going to graduate the most kids out of any HBCU football program in the country. Check the numbers. It is what it is. And we're going to keep
doing it. Man. #1 in the nation.
Come on.
She ain't
Coach,
dropped
man.
the cash out.
Hey man, listen. Hey, let them donations fly, man. Listen, they saying it's the best live ever, Coach. Hey, all I know, Coach. Let me say this. You talk about alignment.
I'm trying to calm myself down. My bad.
You talk, stay up there with me because I'm gonna come up. I'm coming up there with you. Stay where you at. And I know that's how it works. That's how it works. I got to give shout to we talked about this outside. We talked about the standard being the standard, and the hoodie is dope. I held off on ordering it because we're gonna roll out some more hoodies. I showed you what they look like. We're gonna do a hoodie season rollout. So if you want that black D standard hoodie, then you can get it when we roll out the other hoodies. So, but Coach, that is what it is. I mean, like you said, the standard is the standard. What I'm loving is the fact that you got these former players. I see Brother Younger and Brother D, and a lot of the one of the things we're trying to do is just rekindle that old flame and reignite it and reconnect the dots, man. And what's so beautiful is that things are lining up. It's synergy, you know what I mean? Where what you guys are doing is really what the previous regimes that established the dominance in the eras that we've come so accustomed to being proud of, and standing on the shoulders of giants, man, is a bar. I can't help but just say thank you for all that you guys do. But I know that it wasn't a coincidence that you walked out the building right when I was walking back in the building to give out some more hoodies, and we had that conversation. And then I said, you know what? It was just put on my mind to have you to come on, because I was like, I know with the stuff that was circulating, it gets a little exhausting, Coach. When we see the work that you guys are doing, we know what's happening, and people tend to think that we're just saying things to try to build you guys up. It's beautiful for you to come on here and speak your piece and say all this, because obviously we needed to hear this. And I don't think it's no coincidence that you come on and you do this right before Thanksgiving. So I think that's right on time for Tiger Nation, for us to all be thankful for just kind of where we are, man, and not take this moment for granted. TD, come on in this thing. I know he's been chopping at the bit. He probably got 1,000 notes over there. He ready to unleash, man. Go ahead, man. Go ahead, big dog.
Actually, man, I couldn't keep up no more, man. I just said, look, man, I get the cliff notes later. But Coach, I want to go back. I mean, you said something that, I wanted to make sure I address. You said you didn't want to put God in too much. And I wanted to say, Coach O, you know just as well as I do, you can never give God enough praise, even if you got 1,000 tongues. So don't ever, I don't regret. I don't take it back no matter what no one has to say about that. And that led me to, and I know we've gone on with the show, but I just admire, it brings to fruition what I was thinking, because I was going to ask, during that time of tribulation, when it was just you and Coach Taylor in the office and y'all were trying to figure out, the water boy was gone, and you guys in that office. And then when everything started to come around, you had Tiger Nation. I mean, they was mad at the world. They wanted to fight. They wanted to come to you guys' defense, and you guys stand down. We got this. We hear the noise. I remember you even came up on the show. It was late one night. You said you had just woke up. You said, we know what's going on. We hear the noise. You said, but we got it. I mean, everybody was fired up because of the way things, had gone. And the fact that you guys still was able to, overcome that adversity. And I knew it had to be hard to deal with that, man. And, probably many nights and days you wanted to cry, but you came through it. And just listening to you talk, Coach, now I see why the team play the way that they play. Now I understand the standard and what I mean, I be around a little, so I understand it. But you breaking it to Tiger Nation on the screen, man, this is the passion that we hear and stuff coming out that locker room, regardless, from all the coaches and the players. So again, man, we definitely thank you. And you said that we will not be out recruited. We recruited and everything. Coach, man, hey, shoot, we ready for Southern now, Coach. What, December 7th?
Can't get her fast enough.
Can't get it fat. And Coach, I'm glad you had your juice order, man. I'm like, man, when he gonna take that towel off that water and drink some? Because he needs.
Said she been watching you since middle school. Great athlete, young man. My daughter was at Northwest also. Wow.
Thank you. Thank you.
This is powerful, man. Coach, listen, what else you got, man? Don't you go ahead and unload, man. We've been enjoying this. I've been trying. So one of the things I do know from having the privilege of, I talked about you today. I got to say this. I talked about you today. I was talking to Coach Kylie James because we were talking about some pro football focused stuff for the D line, and we talked about, Coach. You remember we had that conversation? We were talking about Tiger Talk, probably 5-6 years ago. It might have been 6 years ago. You gave us some game. He was like, hey man, this is what you know what I'm saying, this is what I want for you guys. You know, this is the vision. Kind of think about this. He was talking to me, Corey, Zoe, and the crew. And I told him, I said, because he asked, was I going to be, we got some recruits coming in this weekend. And I said, look, whatever you need us to do, we'll be there. You know what I mean? We'll come and make sure we're able to do that. And I told him, I said, Coach O was the one that really kind of, he gave us the green light on that. And you guys are recruiting. I want you to just talk to the Tiger Nation just a little bit about just your recruiting philosophy and how you're able to capture, because you guys do a phenomenal job. I know there was some things that was done and put in place, you know, in the 2-year run when we were recruiting, but I just really appreciate the way you guys do it. I'm thankful on behalf of Tiger Talk, you know what I'm saying, that we are allowed to be a part of the process. But I got a question today, and folks are saying, man, how we looking, man? What we looking at for a signing day? I say, man, these coaches out there recruiting their behinds off. So I'll let you speak to that from the recruiting aspect and just kind of however you want to take that, and we'll go from there.
Yeah. So, you know, just where we are right now with recruiting, we're blessed, man. So here's the thing. The first year, I guess the fall of 2022, you come out that fall, you kind of going through this transition. We lose, you know, nearly 60, 65 players off that roster that you got to go actively replace. You're gonna hit on plenty of them, but then you're gonna have your misses, right? And that's kind of what we endured. We just wanted to make sure our misses weren't so bad that they set the program back, and I think we accomplished that much. But at the same time, even with those misses, when you had good coaches who knew how to coach and knew how to get the most out of a kid, right? Most out of a player, that was beneficial in us going 7-4 last year. When you come out of that 7-4 season, then you got a segment of the country that you can recruit now, because now they see, okay, the program is a little bit more stable than we thought it would be, than others may have suggested that it would be. And so our philosophy coming out of last year was fix what's broke, improve what is not broke, right? And so we knew we had to improve the linebacker room. We knew we had to improve the offensive line. And each position group that we had to improve, it wasn't one Band-Aid that could fix it, right? This room might have been a coach situation. This room might have been a personnel situation. And so just really sitting down and mapping out what is the issue, what's going on, how can we fix it? And I think that's where me and TC, we do our best work, because we know what it's supposed to look like, right? And we understand what we want it to look like for us. And ultimately, it don't matter what it looks like for it's about what it looks like for TC, right?
Right.
This is his program. So at the end of the day, is this what you want it to look like? So cool. We cross that bridge. And so kind of going forward, you know, we got in that room and we mapped out, you know, what each position group should, you know, ultimately look like. And so coming out of last season, going into that recruiting cycle, the first thing we wanted to do, we wanted to get our size back. We wanted to get the length, up front in the box, right? The linebackers, the D-line, the O-line. We just had to get bigger. And some of that was in-house. Some of that was just changing the bodies. But then the other part of it was going to find what we needed, right? So we did a great job. And those coaches, I give those coaches who were leaving a lot of credit, because I don't ever want them to feel like we don't appreciate their work that they put in while they were here. Those guys left us recruiting their tails off for Jackson State. And so I want to give them the highest of commitments for doing that, and I appreciate them for it. Travis Terrell, prime example, one of our best players, Coach J.O., started their recruiting cycle on him, right? He found Travis Terrell. And so by the time it was all said and done, we kind of knew where it was going with J.O. Me and TC took it over because we really wanted this kid. So me and TC went and did the home visit with Trav so we could keep him in. And so we, having a true, what they call thumb on the pulse of this program, right? We knew exactly what was going on in each room. And so now you fast forward, now you're 10-2, got more business to accomplish, and the whole world is watching us again. What are we doing differently in this recruiting cycle? This recruiting cycle, believe it or not, if you look at our roster, we are young, and that's exciting. We have a relatively young roster. We got 21, 22 seniors. A lot of those guys are key contributors, but a lot of those guys are key contributors on special teams or with their backups on offensive defense. And then we got some holes to fill defensively. We're going to lose some key guys over there, and we'll get those holes filled. But I said that to say this, the overwhelming nucleus of this roster is very young, and they're very, very talented. And so now we're in a space where we are being ultra selective. We are going to get who we want, and we're going to get them when we want them. So we're taking our time. We have our eyes on who we want. We're talking to them daily. They know how we feel about them, but we don't necessarily have to pressure them in the moment, right? Because not that we want to go find a better player, but a better player may come along. The portal doesn't open for a couple of weeks, and we're not going to live in the portal. We think our best work is going to be done in the high school ranks, but we also want to give ourselves the wiggle room to go and get the right portal guy if we see him, right? Jackson State football is not in the business of just taking guys in the portal just because they went to Florida State or Alabama or Tennessee. We don't take a guy just because of the school they went to. We take a guy because they got substance coming from their school. And so that's the difference in us and them, right? So no, I don't want that title. I say too much other stuff sometimes. I'm just clean up here. But yeah, so listen, I definitely think that as much as those schools have talent, that ain't our philosophy. You know what I mean? That we don't you play special teams at Tennessee, but you didn't record no stats. You can't play here. I go get a high school kid for that. You know what I mean? I want a guy that's got some skin in the game, as they would say. I want a guy who felt and showed that he can compete at the highest of levels, but he wasn't given a fair opportunity. And guess what? Now he got a chip on his shoulder. And guess what? I'm gonna make that chip even bigger because I'm gonna tell them I got a chip on my shoulder because they looking over me too. And I'm at this little HBCU. They don't care about us, but we got everybody watching and hating on us, but they still don't care. So now you got to be the villain and the underserved at the same time. This is a beautiful place to be in. You hear me? I don't think nobody understood that. Being the villain and being underserved. Think about that. Okay, I'm gonna move on. But anyway, go ahead, TD.
Let me ask you a question here. For those schools that are brave enough to have recruits, two-part question. You may not be able to answer the question. Might not want to answer the question. Is your choice for sure. But for those schools brave enough to have recruits, when Jackson State rolled into town, do you guys ever glance over to, see what's going on? And has any recruits ever reached out?
You gonna make me talk. You gonna make me talk too much, TD. But I'm
okay. Don't worry about it, Coach.
No. But second, I love it. That was a great question, TD. You know what? This is the answer I got for you.
Okay.
TD, we don't look, but they do.
Hey,
see, we went to Lorman, Mississippi this past weekend, didn't we, TD?
Yes, sir.
And we went down there and we handled business, didn't in a very classy, very dominant style.
Yes, sir. Yes.
And they invited every recruit in the state of Mississippi that they could, and they invited some of their top recruits on their board to the game on official visits. That wasn't the game they needed to see. That wasn't the game they needed to see. And so some of them dudes got in my boys' DMs this weekend. They started reaching out to Jackson State coaches. Coach, I was down here, but I might want to be over there. Oh, yeah, it goes on, TD. But like I said, we don't look at them, but they definitely be looking at us. And I ain't saying, and listen, it ain't just the football. Let me make sure, because I don't want to come off cocky in a football state of mind.
Yes, sir.
I'm talking about Jackson State. They across the field. Think about this, TD. Put yourself in their recruit shoes, right?
Right.
This school asks you to come to my campus. I'm sitting on the home sideline, and it's 2 hours before kickoff, and I look across the field, and I don't see nothing but blue and white pom-poms, and it is packed out 2 hours before
somebody loaded.
The buses ain't even the buses ain't even pulled up. The team that they supposed to be playing ain't even here yet. And they sideline is already full. Imagine if you the recruit over there and you were looking across the field. And then when they run out, the uniforms look good. The cheerleaders look good. The band sound good. Huh?
Yes, sir.
The fans look good. Huh?
Yes, sir.
What you
preach?
TD? What you think? Hey, TD, if I'm riding up and down, I don't care how reliable my old Subaru is. when that Mercedes Benz or that Cadillac Escalade pass by, I'ma look.
That's right.
That's a nice vehicle, right? So that's what be going on, man. Hey, they sit across the sideline. I want to be a part of that. Now they got the juice over there, and so man, we get calls after we went to Montgomery, and when we got back to Jackson, Mississippi, we was getting calls. It happens every week, man.
That's definitely what I was thinking, Coach. And you know something, you was talking about the physicality of your team. I noticed the difference from teams in the past. One thing I would say, we look at stats and everything, and we notice that Alabama State has been ranked number 1 in defense. And we see why. I mean, those guys are very tenacious. When they hit you, they want to go through, they want to rip you in half. I see some of this. I see in you guys' second year being at the helm, I see the difference in that defense. Shout out to Coach Quinn, Coach Callie James, the defensive staff. Man, I see a lot of that in our players. Josh Noble, even Philip Webb. Philip Webb, I had expectation of him coming into the spring. I was like, Ken, that's my guy right there. I'm looking for him to do something. I see that in him now. And you see him on campus, he's very quiet, have his glasses on, kind of mild-mannered.
Even Jeremiah Williams.
Right. Definitely Jeremiah. And man, it proceeded to the way that those guys, when they hit you, they run it through you. They trying to rip you in half now. Man, that's what I know that's what you guys preaching, and that's what you want out of your players, Coach.
Amen. Yeah, the physicality part, because the last 2 times we went to Atlanta this time of year, we felt like that's one of the things we lacked.
Yeah.
You'd heard TC say it over and over again. We are built for December. That's what he means. We ready. We're gonna strap them shit, TD, you know how you strap that shit trap so tight, your face about to explode out the helmet.
Yes, sir.
That's what you're gonna see these next 3 weeks.
Woo. Coach, look, you speaking it. I was looking on Pro Football Focus, man, and I didn't realize that our guys were ranked the way that they were. I just talking to Coach Callie, man. I'm gonna throw this up there real quick. I just want to show Tiger Nation this is the top interior defensive lineman that's in the country. Jeremiah Williams ranked 19th.
Wow.
By Pro Football Focus. I just thought it was pretty powerful. This is good stuff, man, and we'll delve into it a little bit. But when you look at the top two interior defensive linemen in the entire conference, according to Pro Football Focus, is Jeremiah Williams and True Thompson. This is where that dominance is coming from, man. I just wanted to make sure folks understood what we're working with. And when you look at those two outside defensive linemen, spot number 2 and spot number 3 behind Malachi Bailey, from what they were ranked, Josh Novas and Phillip Webb, who both have years of eligibility left, man. So we got some work to do, Coach. We got that. I want to do this, Coach. What we've been working towards. You know what we're trying to do. You know, we started a collective, and I want you to touch on NIL and the importance of that, man. Just right. We've done some special things. I mean, we were able to start with, I think, 8 football athletes last year. And then we grew that thing into 20 athletes this past season, and we hope to double that. You know, we want to do more in the football program, but I want you to just speak to, you know, from your vantage point, just what it could do. We got a lot of eyes. You know, we got over 1,000 watching us tonight, and I appreciate everybody. Make sure y'all subscribe to the channel. If you're watching us on Twitter, go to the YouTube page, click the subscribe button, donate to the channel. If you want to donate to the channel, you can look at the ticker. But we need to support. The reason why I'm saying that, Coach, is this. You see how we took over Lorman, Jack? They said pack the Jack. I saw them walking around with it on the hoodies. I was like, what y'all talking about? Jacktown? We in Jackson, Mississippi. It's pack the Jack, right? Coach, just what would you guys be able to do if that energy, that many fans in Tiger Nation that get riled up, decide that they're gonna invest into NIL the way some of these other FBS programs are doing? Talk about what you think we could do on the level of Jackson State, because we are really a FBS school in FCS clothing, as Brother Zoe said plenty of times before. But I want to hear from your perspective.
Yeah, man, it's so many ways I can go with that answer, but it's something we got in place right now that the NIL collective space can help with. Like, we got a housing project going on right now, right? And so one of the 2 things that you talk about in recruiting when you talk to a family, they want to know that their child is going to lay their head somewhere safe and nice every night, and they want to make sure they're going to have a good meal to eat. Those are the 2 main things, right? So one of the deals right now, we have a housing project, or a development, I would say, where we have about 40 beds, 40 apartment style beds that our players are able to take advantage of, because the JSU alum has decided to repurpose some property around the JSU campus, and he's allowed us to rent those spaces. Well,
nice.
Well, it is extremely nice, Ken. I mean, it's a game changer for us in football, because all our guys are right there, and we're able to work with the city of Jackson, with Capitol Police, and with all these other entities to make sure our guys are safe, right? Well, the issue with that is that these guys still have to pay for their rent out of their pocket, right? And so when they pay their rent, and one of the cool things, the landlord allows us to do it just like it's done on campus. You pay a one-time fee for the whole semester, right? And that's a blessing. So when they get their refund check, they can pay their rent. So it's a great situation for a football player, and our players love it. It's 2 houses, and it's I want to say it's an 8 apartment, 2 bedrooms apartment complex, all on the same block. And each bedroom has its own bathroom. It's 2 decks, 2 kitchens. The players love it, man. I mean, it's really a godsend for this time we're in. Well, when the players play that rent out, they have nothing left. And these guys are making this university so much money when they win.
Tell the truth. Tell the truth.
They're making this university buckets of money, right? And the thing I love about our players, I haven't had a player on this team come to me and say, Coach, y'all not taking care of me. field take. They're not saying that. What they do say is, Coach, if I had a little bit, I'd be okay. And that's a difference.
Yes, sir.
They're not asking for the world. They're not asking for SEC money. They just want to know, hey, Coach, can I take my girlfriend out to dinner this weekend? Coach, do I have enough money to put gas in my car? Coach, can I, if I wanted to go to the movies, do I have money to go to the movies? We took the team to the movies yesterday. I got a popcorn combo and spent $20.
Right. That's
For real.
That's
all, man. You know what I mean? And so, with that being said, if we want, first of all, if we want the product to continue to look, first of all, let me back up. I'm a recruit the same way I've been recruiting the entire time I've been here recruiting, right? I'm going to find those dudes, all right? Well, as we continue to go look for those dudes are not coming in just because Jackson State is the best HBCU in the land. It don't always work that way.
That's right.
You got to have a little more at the table when it comes to trying to sign these kids, because the other schools do. Everybody got facilities.
Yep.
Everybody got good academic programs. Everybody got tutors. But Coach, when it's the holidays, when it's Thanksgiving, and I can't go home and the cafeteria is closed, do I have enough money in my pocket to get something to eat? Do I have some friends around or family members around that call family members, but they're Jack State fans who may want to feed me? These are the type of things that separate us from other schools. That's just one part of it, right? But Ken, then you go to the other part of the collective. The collective also empowers the business mind of our student athletes, right? It teaches them how to become an individual entity that has a brand.
That's right.
One of the things this offseason we talked to extensively with K5 about, right? K5, K1, 1K, all right? We went all over the place. Me and him kind of bumped heads because I was against him changing his number. K5, you have a brand.
It was hard to adjust.
Yeah, you got a brand, right? You got a brand, man. People know you as K5. It rings. This sticks. It sells. But
right.
He was one hoe. He wanted to be 1K. Well, that's the cool part about having a staff like us. We're not so stuck in our ways that we can't give a kid what he wants that he thinks will help him be successful, right? So we gave him the number change, right? He looks good in number 1. No problem with it. But we want to also make sure our guys, when they make those decisions, they have the business savvy to understand what goes with making those type of decisions. What's the bottom line to that decision, right? Are you going to sell those jerseys? Are you going to sell more merchandise, right? Are people going to continue to invest in you as a product? Because you are a product. So are people going to continually invest in you? So this allows those guys with the collective, how do I create value? How do I continue to create value? And then when that is no longer available to them, they know how to keep that going. How do I sell myself to my employer now? Right? How do I sell myself to my community? Right? They know because Ken, the 1400 Club Collective, TD, you guys believed in them. And so guess what? They know how to take that opportunity to parlay it into something else that could be beneficial down the road. So I just think, man, from helping us, from sowing into the collective, us being able to bless these young men for putting smiles on your faces on weekends. I need you to understand that now. You know how I felt when Coach Prime left and all the talent left with him, right? You know how that felt. In order for us to keep the smile that you have on your face now, we have to be able to make sure we take care of our kids, and we have to be able to make sure we can keep poachers away from our kids. Our kids are not asking, they're not coming to me saying, this school offered me this much. I need y'all to come with this. We don't have those type of kids. We have the type of kids, Coach, I love being here. I just want to make sure I can do the bare minimum to be happy. if I want to go buy a pair of jeans, can I go buy a pair of jeans? So we
Right.
want to do those type of things to keep a kid here at Jackson State. And I honestly believe, Ken, what you're doing with this collective, what AD is doing with the JSU by 40 campaign, these are the type of initiatives that allow us to stay at the forefront of HBCU football, but also compete with the FBS programs who are trying to leave us in the rearview mirror. We ain't getting left behind. I don't give a damn. We're not getting left behind. That ain't happening. So this is a personal challenge to the Jackson State fans. And they don't have to be on this call to spread the word. If you love winning like I do, if you love dominating like I do, if you love being the king of the SWAC and the Mac of the SWAC like I do, we have to pour and sow into this program. And our staff sows into the JSU by 40 campaign. So if our staff believes in it, I know the fans can get behind it. So I hope I kind of share some light on how we can be beneficial in helping these kids. And we ain't got to have a $3 million collective. That really would be great. But we have to have a good, solid collective. That's all we asking. Good, solid, where we can just bless all the sports, because we want women's basketball, we want men's basketball, we want baseball, we want track, we want all these other sports to succeed. One thing about TC Taylor and this JSU football team, we support JSU. We support the block, right? Our players go to volleyball games. Our players go to soccer games. Our players date Jackson State women, right? So the more the Jackson State women, if you get bless that soccer player with a piece of that collective, it may take a little pressure off one of mine.
Hey, Coach, look, man. Hey, look, I'd say this, man. I will say this. You know, we talked about this. We got a big football. For our football division, we have a big fundraiser coming up January 11th. We know that football season has been in the past. All the guys will mostly be on campus. We want you guys there, man. We want you, Coach TC, AD. We got a lot. We got a big planning going on with this. We in partnership with Kevin Dent. You know what Kevin Dent means to the program and what he's we're gonna do 3 events, 3 minimum. We'll do one late in the spring. We'll do one early summer, fallish, around that time, right before the season get kicked off. But these are all NIL events that, you know, we KC-1400 stays disconnected to the university, so we're able to do what we're able to do. Tiger Talk is a little different, but this is more of the business side. And we got a lot. We've done really well, Coach, in 2024 with the help of we established the model, and now we got to grow it. And we have to be intentional. What you say in all things you do, you got to dominate. Our efforts is to be not just a collective, but the largest HBCU collective in the nation. We want to set the standard. We want to be the standard. The standard is the standard, and it's trust me when I tell you, Coach. I mentioned some figures to Coach TC, and he said, "Look, that happened. That's a whole different conversation." And I know we got some very realistic goals coming up with that event, and we're gonna put some smoke behind it. But we're gonna get past this season first. We still got 2 games left to play, and we want folks to see the success of the culmination of this season. And don't let your fire go out, man. That's all we're saying to Tiger Nation. It's amazing. We did so many initiatives, Coach, on this channel that we kind of got a little numb to it. Folks forgot that we recently did a $50,000 in 12 days. 12 days, I think it was. We collected about $50K. And it's amazing what we can do when we come together. People think we're always asking about money, but it's not that. It takes that. You just gave an example. I do this for you while you're here, and I'm gonna be quiet and let TD finish it up. One of our brand ambassadors just clips 1,000 yards, Irv Mulligan. We got T-shirts on the website now. He gets directly paid. So, Coach, I'll say this: the pre-order, we sold 70 shirts. He's already been compensated for his for the sales of that shirt, and we also got a shirt for the General. And Kobe Morgan, who's also one of our brand ambassadors as well.
Hey, Ken, go back to Kobe real quick. Just real quick. I'm sorry. Listen, I was just talking to Rip the other day, and I told Rip, See, this is the type of stuff we talk about. He was the general. He had marked himself the general, but long before I got a hold to him, right? I told this man he missed a hell of a marketing opportunity. He'd probably have an NIL deal if he would have named himself Captain Morgan. I just come on, man.
Well, let me say this, Coach. I don't know if the rules have changed, but I don't think they allowed the play. Do they allow the players in Mississippi to do alcohol deals?
Maybe not, but it would have sold shirts.
You're right. When you're right now. When you're right, you're right now. Now the reason I say that is because you remember the young man. Was it Joseph? Yeah. Was it Joseph? Yeah, I think his Yusuf. He wound up going over to the Tennessee Tech. I think is where he went to something to that effect. And I think his mom. Maybe it was Deontay Graham, or was it Graham? Anyway, mom wanted to do an NIL deal with some wine company, and I think being in the state.
That was Graham.
Yeah, that's what it was. But anyway, if a family, go to the website, grab these shirts, man. Just put in a big order, 100 shirts. They are available. Grab them. I just wanted to throw that in there, Coach, while we were talking. Go ahead, TD.
Yeah, I want to add on to the NIL collective that this platform is doing. We have Coach O on the show. He can attest to what the money is going where it's supposed to. The things that was done, for a lot of the players. And we have a lot of those ambassadors, with D General and Irv being just, one of the two of the many, along with some basketball players, ladies and men. So for those of you who are just new to the channel, who are surprised, who still hesitant on sending your money somewhere, with the 501c, and then we have KT Dove in the background who's really handling a lot of the financial stuff. The money is going where it's supposed to go. We got, trustworthy brother like, Kevin Dent, and Trent, along with Derek Cubic. We have a great team of people who really love Jackson State, who's pretty established, who don't need to take nothing from anybody. So we just love Jackson State. We want to make sure that we stay dominant, Coach. So for those of you who are interested and curious about, want to know where the money going, shoot Ken an email, and sign up for the collective, and let's help continue to make our Tigers dominant. Now, Coach, the last question I will have for you, Ken, Coach, we spoke on getting players out the portal. What are y'all philosophy on players that have displayed themselves and feel like they want to enter the portal?
Oh, well, I guess the way you kind of, because I want, that's a great question, first of all. The first thing first, though, TD, we feel as though your stage or your light really can't get any brighter beyond JSU. Now, don't get me wrong. Alabama, Tennessee, type of schools, Power 4 schools, I understand. ABC, that lure, those contracts, that's different, right? You want those eyes on you. But as far as, we had, kid go to Florida Atlantic, kid go to Tennessee Martin, kid go to Southern Miss. You got to be kidding me. None of those schools have any business taking a kid from JSU. And I hope they listen. And I'm saying that because none of them can offer to one of our players what we can't do. If you look at our we have a board. It can remind me to show you when you come by one day. We have a board in the office where we write the date and the name of the scout that came by the visitors, right? And we are sitting right now at about 36 scouts. There's only 32 teams. But we are sitting at about 36 scouts that have come by to scout players at our practices this year. We have had more scouts come by practice this year than we had at any point in the 2 years that Prime was here. I'm just telling you, what else do you want? If you're leaving JSU to go for a money grab, then JSU was never the place for you. That's our other philosophy, TD. So if they tell us it's a financial thing, please run and don't look back. Okay?
Yes,
all right. If you think you're leaving because you think you need to play at a high level because that's the only way you can get to the NFL. I've seen players leave Jackson State who had an NFL grade that left and went to those bigger schools, and you never heard from them again.
That's
and
right.
I've seen players that left those bigger schools and came to Jackson State and dominated at Jackson State, and they on NFL rosters. So make it make sense for you, okay? But just know it's going to take a special player for that door to open back once it closes.
Ooh.
Okay? And I don't know if we got enough of those on our team yet. It's a couple, you know what I mean? I'm definitely not naming names. It's a couple that we would revisit them rejoining the program. I'll give an example that we do have, Evan Henry. Evan Henry hopped in that portal last year after the season. He wanted to explore his options, right? And, you know, he didn't feel like that option that could elevate his career came along. And so he came back and said, Coach, I would like to stay here. And Evan would tell you, it took Evan a while to regain the trust of his teammates, not just the trust of his coaches. This is a fraternity within itself when it comes to Jackson State football. It's a team built on trust. It's a team built on love. And it's a team built on competitive nature. And so when you feel like you can be better than us, we invite you to go do that. But just know, if you're going to come back in, they're going to make you earn your way back in that door. So that's kind of where we are mentally with the whole portal thing.
Hey, Coach, it's almost like you knew what we were talking about tonight. You stole my script, man. I got to say this. I've been on pro football I'm just kind of checking out our guys because of them other guys. And Evan, top guard in the conference, TD. So that's kind of why that conversation is a little different if you're one of them guys. I know y'all go tell Kurt, man, to tune in because he don't have to put it out there. I put it up there for him. I know he just tweeted his picture's blurred. Tell him to hit me up and I'll give him the clear photo and I'll make sure his grade is out there. It makes it look kind of clear and crispy. So we was going to talk about that tonight anyway, but he is number one, Kurt, number one tackle. And I know, look, I know the number 3 in the swag. Now listen, it is what it is. He got the invite to the Senior Bowl, but Kurt Ford is right up there at the top, man, when it comes to tackles and the numbers. Men lie, women lie, numbers don't. If you just look at the improvement, you can look at the years that Kurt has played at Jackson State when you talk about just coming there, developing, and just being a part of an amazing class. And Irv being top 15 in FC, I mean, what is this in the country? Top 15 running back. I mean, it just, the list goes on and on. It's really cool to look at. I'm going to delve into that a little deeper at a later time, but I just kind of wanted to mention that, Coach, since you said it. And I wanted folks to go tell Kurt that he can, if he's not tuned in already, to just come on, tune in, and we'll definitely I'll get him that photo because it's blurry. I just saw the post. Tell him he can delete the blurred photo. I'll give him the clear one. But no, Coach, great philosophy, man. You guys are doing an outstanding job, man. And I also have to echo what I've seen in the chat, and that is the transparency, man. Being an open, I'm an open book. I just don't gatekeep information. At the end of the day, when you're doing it at a high level, you still got to stop us. You know what I'm saying? So Jackson State, we one of one, and we don't say that disrespectfully. They know that other HBCUs know that they can when it comes to this, that we're top dog when it comes to that. And when we're at the peak of our level, I mean, nobody can really touch us, man. So I don't have any other questions. TD, if you got anything, Coach, if there's anything else out there you want to lay on us before you get ready to check out, man, I appreciate you for being with us for 2 hours, man. This has been an absolute treat.
It's been therapy for me. I had some stuff I need to get off my chest, and I may have not gotten it off my chest, but it's good to talk to you guys and really just not unwind, but just show what we really are about when it comes to JSU football. I don't think people get to hear it enough. Y'all in good hands, and I'm saying that from because I know where my heart is. I know where my brother's heart is. I know the expectations that we place on ourselves. TC hadn't had a lot of losing seasons as a coach.
Right.
He hasn't. I haven't. I've only been a part of 2 losing seasons myself as a coach. It's just we're winners, and we know what winning is supposed to look like, and we're not going to stop winning. And I'm glad you put that on the screen. And Brother C. Lee, I want you to say it in the chat. If I'm lying, I just tell the folks I'm lying. When you came and you spoke to that team in training camp, you knew when you spoke to that team, December was on the way. We knew it then. We talked about it then. This team has embraced it from the very jump. But we also told them we can only get there by taking it one game at a time. The standard is the standard. Now you guys see what our standard is. I hope the HBCU world sees what Jackson State football standard is. It's nothing to hide. We want you to see it. We want you to know what's coming to town. We want you to know what's coming to the stadium. There's nothing to hide. We don't want to hide nothing. We want to be transparent. We don't have to look. We don't have to search. We just have to do our jobs. When Jackson State shows up at the stadium, we're going to strap it on. And when Jackson State is ready to play and they're ready to dominate, they're going to do just that. And so that's a challenge to my players. That's a challenge to our players that you are the show. You are the creme de la creme. And I say it all the time. You are the Mecca of HBCU football. And I don't care how anybody else feels about it, because you have shown yourself to be the Mecca. So you have to carry yourself like you are the Mecca. And you carry yourself like you are the Mecca by dominating like you are the Mecca. And so they can have all their doctors, they can have all their lawyers, they can have all their politicians. But when it comes to this football thing, the Mecca is at 601. The Mecca is at 1400. Beasley, not Beasley, but 1400.
You almost let that Callaway stuff slip out, man.
I was thinking about something else when I said that. 601.
Could have said 1400 Woodrow Wilson.
Beasley, so my mind went over there for a minute. But yeah,
Woodrow.
No, we made 1400.
You said Murray Drive. I mean, Murray
didn't make that mistake, kid. 2400 Robinson Road. Didn't make that mistake.
No, man. 1400 J.R. Lynch. They know what that 1400 mean, man. For real.
I appreciate y'all, though, man. This has been a great opportunity.
Coach, well, I appreciate you, man. I got Brother Jason in this thing, man. We definitely locking in as well, helping to grow this collective, man. Thank you, Coach. As always, you know this is home, man, and you're welcome to come up anytime you need to get something off your chest. I knew we was gonna be in for a treat tonight, and happy Thanksgiving, man. I want you to enjoy yourself, man, and enjoy that time with family, because I know that once the food is all done and we done eating, it's time to get back to work. There's some football being played tomorrow. You know, we got the Turkey Day Classic, then we get to watch FAMU and Alabama A&M beat each other up, and then we get to go watch that Bayou Classic, man. Hopefully Grambling mauls Southern up. But whether they do or don't, they still got to come to Jackson to pay the piper, man. They got to come see it.
Hey, I want.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I just wanted to say, you know, for any business, anybody that own a business, insurance company, whatever, you know, reach out to these players and get NIL deals. You know, let's support Round City, because Jackson State football is what brings the crowd into town that helps support your businesses. So, I mean, at least consider that. And also, Coach, I'm glad you came. I'm glad you was able to get that off your chest for people playing in your face, underestimating and disrespecting. You know what I'm saying? Beyond hard work that you guys put in. So I'm glad you was able to come up and get that off your chest. And, you know, this platform is always here. You see, you know, so anytime, Coach, we appreciate you. You have a happy Thanksgiving. I'm done.
Appreciate y'all, guys.
Appreciate you, brother.
Y'all take it easy.
See you next time. All right, baby. What a treat, man. What a treat. We got about 15 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes. I'm going to run through these last few preliminaries, and we're going to be out y'all way, man. Coach kind of touched on a good little bit of it. I do have a couple of things I do want to kind of mention before we get up out of here. So me and TD, we had a good laugh with me, TD, who was talking. Hey, listen, y'all, in order to get this merch, man, you got to go to KC-1400media.com. But TD, they got us, man. So I got up this morning, I had got a text message from Merch Pack, right? Merch said, man, the bots got us. y'all ain't gonna believe this, man. How about I guess we sold so many shirts, man. There's this old wacky website the bots, man, done snatched then grabbed the logo and then threw the logo on mugs and hoodies and posters and look, they even got TD's Golden Fish t-shirts, man.
Well, that's low down. And they know they're not gonna fry their fish crispy the way it needs to be, crispy on the outside, right on it.
Hey, look,
be soggy, man.
Hey, look, I guess we hot out there in these streets, man. The only way you can get that exclusive, man, you got to go to KC-1400 media.com, man. Don't get caught up on the web on the online version of it. Make sure you go to KC. It's nothing you can do about it. You can try to sue, but it doesn't really attach back to something. These folks so savvy with the technology that they'll have it to where it'll trace back to pretty much nothing. They're able to grab just about anything. So consider the compliment. Just make sure if you guys need the merch, man, you know, come get that exclusive from us, man. KC-1400 Media. Season tickets for basketball are on sale. Make sure you grab your season tickets if you haven't already. Also baseball, man. Grab your baseball season tickets. I want to send a huge congratulations to Dorian McMillan, TD. He was a newcomer of the week. He has been balling out. We haven't won any games, but this young true freshman from Pascagoula has been absolutely dominating, man. Yeah, Timu, he's gonna come out. You're gonna get a small. It's gonna be too small, guy. But shout out to Dorian, man, and shout out to the men's basketball program, TD. 3 superstar freshmen that are going to be coming to join the program next season are all signed. Kobe Butler, number 4 player in the state of Louisiana. Mikey Williams, top 100 player in the class. And obviously, Danny Dozen, Kedrick Simmons, 3-star out of Boonville, Mississippi. They all signed. They all committed. Coach Bo is just adding more and more talent and building this roster up with top tier local talent, man. So, yeah, man. Congratulations to him. These are 3 big-time pickups. That thing gonna be an extra medium for real, and that shirt gonna feel like hard. That thing gonna feel like you wearing sandpaper. More dry rotted cotton shirt, man. Come get that exclusive from over here, man. Huge congratulations to James Houston, man. He got waived by he was cut by the Detroit Lions. We were just about to try to grab a Detroit Lions jersey, and then we find out he got cut. And now he's going to the dog pound, man, heading over to the Cleveland Browns. We're happy for him. Hey, man, I'm rooting for Cleveland now. You know, that Detroit was doing well, but we're happy that James has still found himself an opportunity with another school. I mean, not another school, another franchise. I would have loved to see him in a Raiders uniform. That would have been great.
He played better than Bronco and them. Yeah.
But truth be told, we would have been happy either way. It didn't really matter. We're happy that he found a home, and that was just awesome for him, man.
Like I said, he wasn't on the market long, so that's awesome. I mean, that lets you know somebody still believe in his talent and what he can do. I think Detroit just got overloaded. My thing with that was they have a very good chance to make another run at the Super Bowl, and it would have been great, you know, if he had would have been able to have that chance. But it is what it is. Go do your thing. Problem. Make a problem. Somebody else except the Broncos.
I saw Big John in the chat talking about he better not hit Russell Wilson over there with his Pittsburgh Steelers, man. Now that he over there in the AFC North, man. He over there with Jameis Winston. He gonna have to eat a W now. Anyway, tickets on sale for the SWAC Championship December 7th, 1 p.m. Of course, you know the ticket prices. We pretty much touched on that. And if you haven't gotten a tailgate spot, you might want to call 601-354-6021 and see if there's any tailgate spots available. FCS National Awards, TD. Of course, we know Coach T.C. Taylor's up for the Eddie Robinson Coach of the Year Award. We think he should win that one. We don't know, though. We don't know. He got some still competition. Jerry Rice Award, Freshman of the Year, Travis Terrell. Feel like he should definitely win it, but he got some stiff competition. But I think he's the best freshman in the country, without question. New to the list that was announced today or yesterday, rather, is the Walter Payton Award. Herb Mulligan. I said it like this, and I stand on it. What school did Walter Payton play at, TD?
I think it was Jackson State, wasn't
Yeah, I think he was, man.
Yeah,
Best
something like
running back. Hey, best running back in the country in all the FCS. Don't mess this up, man. It's only one answer. There's only one correct answer to this, and that is Walter Payton, alma mater, Jackson State, Early Mulligan. So I think he got a good chance of winning this one. I really do. Don't know.
Yeah, and I definitely like that that post that you did, Walter Payton talking about, all the different schools that, he probably could have gone to, but Jackson State was the best player for him, was the education and everything else. So,
yep.
Go Walter Payton.
Hey, National Player of the Year, man. Shout out to HBCU Plus, Urban Edge Network, FCS National Player of the Year. They have 10 finalists, man, 10 finalists. Kenny Gollop from Howard, Kelby Givens, Southern, Andrew Jones, Grambling State, Jalen McClendon, Tennessee State, our very own Earl Mulligan. We got Eric Phoenix, quarterback, South Carolina State, Daniel Richardson, FAMU, Jamari Taylor, North Carolina Central, Carson Vincent, only gave up 1 sack the entire year, offensive lineman, Alabama A&M, and Elijah Williams, who's the all-time leading sack leader over at Morgan State now. So stiff competition, a lot of defensive guys. I like the good mix of it. A lot of defensive guys, man.
Hey, King.
So,
what was that?
4 and 5 and 5, actually.
What was the receiver we had? When the tall receiver, 13, number 13. You know what I'm talking about?
For
us, played during prime. He was I thought it was Malachi White. That's who that guy right there looked like, man. Right here.
Which one?
Jalen McClendon.
Yeah, I can see that.
Malachi White, man. Who voted on this stuff, man? We don't have no say so in this.
Shit, I wish, man. They got like 8 voters in this, man. I'll find out tomorrow. Get your answer, bro. See who all voting. Let's see who else. Matt, no, I know. I saw that Javancy was up for a potential special teams coach of the year award for FCS. Gerardo Beza, G Baby, broke the record, most field goals in the season. Obviously, he's a SWAC leading scorer this year as well. So great stuff, man. Talked about top 15 polls, standing. So this weekend, man, starting tomorrow, man, we got 1 p.m. ESPNU. We get to watch Alabama State take on Tuskegee. I think they're gonna manhandle Tuskegee for the Turkey Day Classic. Looking forward to TD to checking out FAMU versus Alabama A&M. That's going to be a good one as they finish up the season, last game of the season for them. And then we get to watch on Saturday on NBC, the Bayou Classic. So I'm going to pick Grambling. I'm going to pick Alabama A&M. And I'm going to pick Alabama State. Those are my 3 picks. No scores don't really matter. We'll just see. That's who I got winning.
All right, Rich.
That's rude. So as we were going through we'll touch on these last few on the Pro Football Focus. As I stated, Jeremiah Williams ranked number 19, man, in the country, interior defensive lineman. Still got a year eligibility with us. Coach Callie James, extremely proud of him. Extremely proud of this, man. He's just thriving right now, and playing some amazing football. And kid is a pro, man. Just as he continues to develop, he and Drew Thompson, top of the conference when it comes to interior defensive linemen. I know we talked about some different nuances that what we wanted to see from that defensive line, but apparently coaches like to pair them. You know what I mean? And they've had a pretty good season. This is what their grades are according to, like I said, Pro Football Focus and all their different metrics. Of course, we talked about Josh Nobles and as well as Phillip Webb. Also, John Brown was on that list, TD. John Brown was right around.
You know what, man? I like that kid. I mean, I look in his face when he after warm up. Can he be locked in? When I speak with Tim, he humble, but he's serious. And when he get in the game, he make his presence felt. He's not just out there to say I played. He out there to dominate. He out there to cause havoc and bring the ruckus, and he does that. So, and then he's same school Coach O went to Provine. What they call it, 2400.
2400.
Yes, sir.
Shout out to him, man. And then Robert McDaniel in the conference, man, the top safety from a scoring standpoint, rated the top safety in the conference. He, along with his say, is Guthrie, top 6 or top 5, I should say. Then you got some of the underclassmen, Cam Smith, Shamar Hawkins, and Petty down there as well with a grade.
I mean, that's Shamar Hawkins. Yeah, man, that's Shamar Hawkins. He plays. I like the young man. I like the young.
That's right, man. We talked about Evan being the top guard in the conference. First team all SWAC, man. Kurt, number 1 ranked tackle, man. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool. I'm shocked that Vincent's grade is what it is. Kurt's got a really good grade. Kurt has been dominating, man. He's been playing very well for us, man. He got banged up a little bit against Alcorn, but as he told me, Kurt said, "Shucks, man, it don't make no difference, Ken. I'm playing."
But you know what, Ken? You look at those rankings, and although we really high on Vincent, we didn't watch all their games. We watched our game pretty much, and that was it. So apparently they see something different. But Kurt Ford, I mean, he been doing this thing. I know I've been watching him for the last 3 years. So
he's improved every year.
Yeah, he has. He has. I mean, he played pretty much every position as well.
Yeah, he has.
Right.
He
so
has. Definitely, bro.
Very deserving.
And of course, Irv being one of the top running backs in actually in the nation, has a really high grade. Number 1 running back in the SWAC, obviously, has the highest grade. I mean, it's clear as day. Best running back in the conference, and it's not even close. And we congratulate him. Waiting for some more names to be announced for this Legacy Bowl. We're looking forward to going down and covering them. That's going to be great, man. But with that, we want to wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving. We're thankful for you guys. Thankful for all of the support. Thankful for all the views, every donation, every comment, every like, every share. We thank you for taking 3 hours of your time out this evening. Hopefully I know you guys appreciated this show. I know you guys enjoyed it as much as we have. And TD, thankful for you, brother. Thankful for the entire crew, everyone. Shout out to everyone. I hope you guys have a safe Thanksgiving holiday. Don't eat too much. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to get up in the morning, TD, and I'm going to get a little exercise in before I exercise my hands. I got a little something I'm going to do. I'm going to just keep that to myself, but I'm definitely planning on getting my steps in tomorrow, man, before I get ready to pig out, man. But this has been a treat.
Great idea. Actually, the best time to do it is after you eat.
I'll do it after I eat too.
Yeah, right. Not with that football on.
Because I know it ain't gonna happen. I'm gonna be watching. Hey, look, I'm gonna keep my feet up, man. But we have a lot to be thankful for, man. Gratefulness, man. So much to be thankful for,
Yeah.
Gratitude is one of those things, man, that keep you from complaining. If you spend more time being thankful and grateful for the things that you have, you have less time to complain about what's not. So love you guys, man. It's always DI love. Go Tigers. Everybody be safe.
Again,
Friday we gonna take off. See y'all back on Monday. What you got, brother?
Yeah, I just want to say this too, man. Definitely thankful for you, brother, and the hard work that you put in with this channel. And, I don't think people really understand, all the stuff that goes into this. And just a passion for you and this love. I'm thankful for the brothers that I've been able to meet through this channel. I met them early, from Brother Dent to Brother Cubit. Definitely my guy, KT Dub, man. Much love. And the biggest of them all, Tiger Nation. Man, I really do appreciate, all you guys for speaking to me and the things that you have to say. I appreciate the kind words, and it's very encouraging and make us want to work a little harder. So again, we thankful for you guys, and a special shout out and thanks to the young lady named Angel. I think it's the general cousin, man. She ran up on me, Ken, and I told her, I said, I got you. So I want to make sure I get this done for I won't make it no more, man. So shout out to Angel. She's a freshman at Jackson State. So man, again, we appreciate all the love. So thank you guys so much. JTV, man, keep doing your thing, young man. You got ambition. Appreciate you.
Well said, brother.
Yes, sir.
Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. We'll see y'all back next week, man. We'll be back on Monday. We'll be back live, and we'll go from there. As always, it's D.I. Love. Go Tigers, baby.
Brother C. Lee, happy Thanksgiving to you, brother.
Hello, I'm Kevin Dent, Jackson State University, safety, Canton, Ohio. Today I'm being inducted to the Black College Hall of Fame. I want to give a shout out to KC-1400 Media Group for giving me this platform to introduce me to this stage. I'd like to thank them, thank Jackson State and Jackson State family. Go Tigers.
ShotRx is bringing healthcare to you. With our mobile health team, we can come to your school, church, or business to take care of you. We offer childhood immunizations, COVID and flu vaccinations, physicals, and much more. Don't put your health off. Welcome to Care and Compassion. Welcome to ShotRx.